All right, good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our certificate workshop program for Saturday. Hope you guys are having a fabulous February so far. My name is Marnie Hernandez, and today we are following up and continuing on with our training under Apple Leisure Group, Hyatt Hotels, all-inclusive collection. So if you missed the first part, as you see, we've done 3 already. It is here on my YouTube channel, under videos. Okay, so you can catch up. So you can still join us today, but make sure you go back and finish the other ones because you need to complete all of them to get certified. Okay, so I just want to make sure you guys were aware of that. Also make sure prior to you guys get in here to my certificate workshop program, because under featured, we post all the certificates going on this month. Okay, so we're going to be doing Trafalgar, we're going to be doing Japan, so make sure you're pre-registered ahead of time. Trafalgar, from my understanding, you have to get approval for. So I'm going to send a reminder out today to get in and pre-register, because you don't want to get in on Thursday and not be able to access it. All right, so just wanted to share that with you. So hopefully everybody is here. Again, you can click on the link or go into Vax Vacations, go into ALG, and then ALG under Tools, ALG Pro, okay? And then you'll come here, and we are on Mexico's Pacific. Hopefully everybody's there. Let me know if you're not, and if anybody has any questions. Otherwise, we will go ahead and get started, because as you see, we still have a lot more to get through, and we want to get these completed, get our knowledge check completed, and get our certificate and all our bonus stuff, right? Our exciting things. And as you guys know, the reason we do this is help us to learn to sell to our clients, make us better travel agents, right? But also, who doesn't want perks, right? Always loves perks and invites to lunch and learn, spam trips, webinars, because it's always a learning process with travel, because everything changes all the time, right? So you want to be a better travel agent, you want to learn about, how to sell to your clients. Yesterday was amazing, guys. What did we do yesterday? Seabourn. They had a marketing, the last one was a marketing one, how to talk to a client, how to, get rid of their fears and their, whatever you say, what is it, where they their concerns and stuff, and how to turn it around and stuff. It was really good. And then, and again, even though it's Seabourn, it's a luxury cruise line and stuff, you could use those techniques for anything. So I thought I should pull just that specific part out and post it, because it was a great training. If anybody was there with me, I'm sure you did great, or you liked it. Okay.
That
In
was
the
great. Yes,
Facebook group,
that was
how did
great.
you get those links?
How did I get to here?
No, on the Facebook group, you said it had links to all the trainings for
Oh,
the
right
month.
here. So here, yes, if you're in this group, it's under featured, and I post these every first of the month. So that way you can plan ahead. So I just put this group chat in there in the chat here. So go ahead and sign up, answer the questions, and then it's
Oh,
right.
I'm in it. I just never realized how to get there. I'm like,
Okay, it's under
"Oh,
featured. Yeah, it's right here under featured. And then you just arrow down, like here, I'll be cleaning this one up there. Here, maybe I'll tag this. Oops. I'll try to see if it'll pin to top. There we go. So now it's at the top. So now
thank
you can
you."
just go in. You're welcome. So I do this at the first of each month. That way you can plan. And just so you guys know, and as you see, today we're on part 16, but that's because we never know how long these are going to last, right? So the day before, I'll post and say, hey guys, we're finishing up, Here, let me go ahead and remove this, because we're no longer doing this one. Okay. All right. So even though it says 16, 17, 18, it's because we're still following through. Okay. So just wanted to share that with you. So again, I always post like the day before what the exact training is. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. We're doing Mexico's Pacific Coast. Who doesn't want to go to Mexico? They just announced a fam trip for what, next week? It's like, I want to go. All right, so let's click here. I'm stuck on hiatus. I can't go anywhere until my son's wedding in the end of March. And as you know me, I love to at least try to get away once a month. Yeah. I guess I can go up. I'm in Vegas. I can go up to like Mount Charleston, which is like what, 45 minutes away, or Lake Mead, you know, everything's kind of close. Or the Sphere. Did you guys see the cruise? Was it Norwegian or something? The cruise was going around the Sphere in Vegas. Anybody see that? One of my agents pointed it out to me.
Hey, good question. After we completed our Princess restocking their sale dates?
They do all the time. I just
Yeah.
looked yesterday, they still had a bunch. I know they don't have Alaska. Is there a certain one that you want?
No, like I can't even see any one of them at all.
Okay, look here, I'll just show you real quick. Sorry, guys, but again, this is amazing if you want to travel. You just go into the training, book my free cruise. And again, if it's free, I always try to do at least the longer
Yeah,
ones.
yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah, we're not able, please try again. Okay, so it's just down right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're not able to continue. So that just means it's down. But yeah, I just checked it like last night, I think, because I was showing some agents and they still had like the Hawaii one for 197 and stuff. So yep, just keep checking back. Usually they update and it could be because they usually update at the first of the month. Usually it's like the first Tuesday. But
Okay.
yeah, I would double check. Okay.
Okay.
All
Thank
right. You're welcome. Doesn't mean you can't start planning, I know. All right, so the vacation experience, everybody on, everybody good? Don't want to get started until everybody's ready. All right, let's go ahead and start our inclusive collection in Mexico's Pacific.
Thank you so much, Michael. I appreciate it. And you
I
guys
love these where
know
they read
people on
for
this
me.
webinar are always my favorite people. I love those who love to learn. As Michael said, you never know when this information is going to come in handy. And AM Resorts in our past 20 years has grown so much. There's really a lot to cover. So thank you for joining us for these destination series. Instead of trying to cover over 80 hotels, we're just going to feature on the hotels in certain locations. I'm East Coast, so many of you know I'm based in Allentown, just outside of Philadelphia. So it's a real treat for me to be able to get to the Pacific coast of Mexico. It's so different than the Riviera Maya area. And I'm just going to try to highlight some of the areas and the differences and the reasons your client may
Tell
want
me
to
if
consider. I know
that's
in a lot
too
of
fast.
Mexico,
This is
but
an
that's
hour
also
long,
the
so I'd like to
experience.
try to
Then
get
maybe,
through it
you
as fast as
know,
possible.
of Mexico.
But I
So
want to
without
make
further
sure you
ado,
can
let's go
understand
right
her
into
too.
the Pacific Coast, Mexico. So there are several main areas where we have our amazing resorts. The first we're going to visit is Los Cabos. Then we have Puerto Vallarta. We have Ixtapa, which many of you know the closest town is Zihuatanejo. We also have Acapulco. And as Michael mentioned, we have Hualtuco. So our prize today is for Secrets Hualtuco Resort and Spa. So just starting off with Los Cabos, I've been in travel for a very long time, and my first trip to Los Cabos was in October 2020. So it was the first time I was able to get the days off, get a good airfare, and get a master agent rate to be able to stay at Secrets Puerto Los Cabos. I absolutely love this property. It is stunning. As you can see, the darker green areas here, it is set in the middle of 4 golf courses. So if you have somebody that is really into golf, this is a great location for them to call home during their vacation. It is on the Sea of Cortez, and the sea is a little bit rough there, so it's really not a good, if you have a beach bunny, this is really not a swimmable beach. So this is really good for walking and jogging along the beach in the morning, but it's really not a swimmable beach. I love this particular property because of the golf carts. I did a lot of walking in the morning, so I really enjoyed being able to wake up and go for a nice peaceful walk in the morning as I was watching the sunrise. It is a little bit larger than some of our other properties. It's 500 suites. It was a new build back in 2015, so it's not that old. Really traditional decor. It has 5 restaurants, 4 lounges and bars, and people always describe Cabo as where the desert meets the sea. So this is in the Puerto Los Cabos area. So for those of you who know Cabos in 2 different regions, this is the Puerto Los Cabos area. It's a 4 Diamond Award-winning resort since 2016. It's got an amazing beachfront area. As you may know, Los Cabos is also known for fishing. It's only 30 minutes from the airport. And again, there's tons of golf nearby. So if you're familiar with our resort product guides, there's actually a link to the company that actually gives your guests tea times at all 4 properties. A unique feature in the downtown area of San Jose del Cabo is there is a Cabo art tour every Thursday seasonally, and it's not that far away. So it's just a quick Uber ride, and Uber can come pick the clients up right at the hotel. I do know that Amstar has some larger experiences that on a Thursday can include the art tour, but if they just want to go to town on Thursday for the art tour, they're certainly welcome to do that. So absolutely beautiful property. Again, it's Pacific Coast, so even though you can see the sunrises, the sunsets is really what it's all about. As I had shared with you, very traditional decor, so I think of that real Spanish influence. The rooms are gorgeous, so this is an example of the tub in the master suite, but when I was there, I had a junior suite ocean view, and that was a very similar style tub in my room as well. This I would definitely recommend. You know, I always talk about the benefits of Preferred Club, but I would definitely recommend Preferred Club here for your guests, because if they are Preferred Club, this is the Oceana restaurant, and this would be the a la carte option for breakfast for Preferred Club guests. There is, of course, a lounge for them to check out. And then this area becomes the Preferred Club pool as well. So there is a little pool concierge. He was great. I wish I could remember his name at the moment, but my husband and I really, really enjoyed our stay. And we just ended up hanging out at the edge of the infinity pool. There was a tee box right here, so we're just being nosy, watching people do some golfing. It was really fun. So I would go back in a heartbeat. Seaside Grill, we ate at Portofino. I really liked El Patio. And then also, I don't know if there's a picture, but there is an inside wine cellar area at Portofino. So this time it was just my husband and I, but if we go back with some friends, we'll probably invest in some wine so we can have dinner at the wine cellar at Portofino. We have really great food and service there today. And I love this little pool. So again, as I mentioned, I was there in October 2020, so there was still a lot of restrictions. One thing I like, you'll notice there's these little areas around each palm tree. So even though the swim up bar is over here in this corner, you could kind of grab your drink and hang out with your friends around your own little palm tree. And when I was there were some groups there over the weekend, and I think there was a wedding that was coming as well. So it was nice for people to kind of, you know, be in this larger pool, but they could still kind of hang out by their own little tree and palm tree and hang out, which is great. And again, there's another shot of the golf course. You can see the properties raised up on the hillside, so you have beautiful views for a majority of the rooms. Dormitory Casa del Mar. Many of you remember this hotel. It was part of the AMR collection a few years ago. They decided to operate independently, and now they've recently come back to the and Dormitory Casa del Mar is just literally what it sounds like. So in Spanish, Casa del Mar means house of the sea or house by the sea. It is part of a larger condo complex. So within that, we have 60 of the luxurious suites, 2 restaurants, 2 lounges and bars, and again, great food and service. It has received AAA 4 diamond rating since 2008. But it is truly a traditional hacienda feel. Now, also, much like Secrets, this is not on a swimmable beach. The beach here, however, is much easier to access. And of course, there's a lot of pools. So really nice rooms. For those of you who looked at our March and beyond, the Back to the Beach and Beyond, we did do a live site inspection of this property. So for those of you who have access to Master Agent website, you may want to check those out as well. But this is the main pool and beach area. So as you can see, this is not set up as high on the hill as Secrets is. So it's really easy to walk along the beach. Again, this is not swimmable, but it is a beautiful beach. And it is very easy to see whales during whale season in the wintertime. So I know when we did our site inspection, there was like a whale breaching off in the distance. So really, really beautiful and unique property. It is right next door to Dreams Los Cabos. Currently, COVID guidelines are still in place, so there is no sip, savor, and see. So if you're a Zotri guest, you have to stay at Zotri. If you're a Dreams guest, you have to just kind of hang out at Dreams. But again, Dreams is our family-friendly, unlimited luxury, and again, it's facing sort of that same stretch of beach, so really nice for walking. I know when I was there, I didn't stay there, but I did a site inspection because I split my stay. I did a few nights at Secrets, and then I did a few nights at Breathless, which we'll talk about in a moment. So I did a site inspection at Dreams when I went from the one property to the other, and when I was there, we were doing the site, and there's actually also some horseback riding along the beach. So of course, that's an additional charge, but in addition to watching for whales in whale season, there is some horseback riding available, and I've seen them do some absolutely gorgeous weddings here. They also do some movies on the beach. It is a smaller property for us, so it's just under 300 rooms, but it has really nice restaurants and bars. I think when I was there, so I was there in 2020, the sales manager shared with me 2 years ago, they renovated Portofino restaurant specifically, so that was a really beautiful new look. They have Bordeaux. They actually have some larger suites as well. So location is a good location. They have the Preferred Club. They do have a spa there as well. There's some meeting space, but really it's just this beautiful sense of arrival. When you come through, you look through those archways and you can see out to the sea. And they do have some larger suites. I remember, for those of you who are friends on my Facebook, I think it was on my personal Facebook, it was before they made me do the work one. I did do a tour of the Preferred Club. I think there's a 2-bedroom where they connect 2 rooms like a king and then 2 doubles. So really spacious suites. And again, lots of great areas for both indoor and outdoor activities. I thought when I was at Portofino, I thought there was a really cute area outside that would make a great spot for cocktail parties. And again, beautiful, walkable beach, but just not swimmable. Golf, of course, is just stable in the area. They do have the Explorers Club for little kids. This is also one of the hotels that I visited kind of in October, so it was right before Day of the Dead, and the little kids were doing the Day of the Dead all through here as well. So I'm not allowed to pick favorites, but
We're on Mexico,
for her birthday,
the
and we
4th
stayed
one.
at Breathless Cabo San Lucas, and she had never been to the property. It was my second visit, and she absolutely fell in love with this hotel. This is the best of both worlds. As you notice, the buildings are facing the marina. So you guys, who are below deck fans, you like watching the yachts, which is great. So all of the rooms have a marina view. This pool here is the quiet pool. And then it's kind of hard to see from this vantage point, but the other side of the building, that's where like the spa is, the restaurants are, what we call the beach club, the fun party pool, and it's a swimmable beach on this side. So this is the marina, but on the opposite side of the hotel, that's Medano Beach, and it is one of the few swimmable beaches in Cabo. So I know one of the pre-questions leading up to this webinar is, where is there a swimmable beach for an AMR property in Cabo? And Breathless is going to give you that swimmable beach plus immediate access to the marina. If you have somebody that's looking to do the tours of Land's End, which is the thing that kind of looks like a dinosaur or a dragon, the pier is right here, and you literally board the vessel here. So when I was there, I did an Amstar Fajita sunset cruise, and literally all we did was walk out of our room, go down to this building here. We hopped on the boat, went out to Land's End. We had a little fajita, we had a little dance party, and we came back. So super convenient if you have people that are looking to constantly be in and out. During my first trip, there was an actual fishing tournament going on. So a lot of the guys went fishing and a lot of the wives were hanging out by the pool. So I was chatting with them. And the sole reason they picked this location is they could walk to the pier and begin the fishing tournament. So I thought that was great. It is very small. So I know a lot of agents email me like, oh my gosh, I'm having a really hard time finding space at Breathless Cabo San Lucas. So not only is it a great location because of the marina and beach, but it's so popular to want to be in this area. There's only 169 suites, so it does sell out really, really quickly. So again, not even talking about some of the better categories, but if you see a room available at Breathless Cabo San Lucas for the dates that your clients need, please grab it because there's not a lot to go around. And again, it is adult only. It's on Medano Beach. It's the swimmable beach, and it's right in the heart of Cabo San Lucas. So remember we talked about Secret de Puerto Los Cabos. So that's the one area. This is truly in Cabo San Lucas. And again, it's just absolutely beautiful. And this is actually the first Breathless resort in Mexico. So this was built before Riviera, Cancun, and of course Sol. So just another beautiful view. Absolutely love this property. This is the romance suite. So during my first stay, this is the room category I had. So the couch here is facing the marina versus the bed. So I did like that as well. Really great restaurant. So the restaurants, as you can see, are on the side that is facing Medano Beach. You have Spoon, which is upstairs for the buffet. You have the Wink Bar, which is just outside of that quieter pool facing the marina. And then again, this is a swimmable beach. So again, you go back to my Facebook feed, you will actually see me in the water here in front of this hotel. This is the view from the party pool. So this is the building that's facing Medano Beach. This is the beach club. And there are, what they did here, they actually have some valley beds with like the big purple mattresses. You have to buy bottle service for access to those areas. And it was well worth it. So for my friend's birthday, I think it was about $300 for a bottle of Belvedere, but she and I were able to spend from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. or 10 to 5 on that big purple covered mattress. Because even though she tans really well, I do not do so well in the sun. So it was nice to have the purple cover. But really, really great DJ playing different mixes. This, of course, is the lively welcome to the party atmosphere you're familiar with Breathless. But again, with Breathless, you also have your Breeze Beat, and there is a spa there. So I did treat myself to a body there and a massage with a combo. But it was one of the spa specials for the day, but it was really great. So you can definitely live it up, but there's also time for you to relax. And then going on to our next destination, we have Puerto Vallarta. And I know we did a series on this a while ago, but we have our beautiful secret. The secret side is just under 300 suites, 12 restaurants, 5 lounges and bars. So again, your clients are still going to fly into the Puerto Vallarta airport, but it's probably about a 40-minute ride to get to this Bahia Mita area. So the closest town that it's near, which for the Instagram people they're very familiar with, is Sayulita. But again, Pacific Coast of Mexico offers a lot of whale watching as well, so I'll talk about that too. Really gorgeous rooms, nice sized rooms. I was able to stay there in November. Unfortunately, I was there for work, so I was running around. I did not get to take advantage of their spa. It's a huge spa. It's over 30,000 square feet. I'm looking to go back in September and actually have some downtime to explore the spa. And again, as I mentioned, we did some meetings there. So we used the ballroom, we used some of the breakout rooms. They did a beautiful job setting up a private event by the pool of one evening, which is absolutely gorgeous. And again, just the hotel itself was designed by an award-winning architect, so just the architecture is stunning, but when you are at the hotel, just the surrounding area is beautiful. So high dramatic ceilings, lots of marble, again, a really rich look with the woods and the darker colors. They have some unique room categories here as well. But just a note for the secret side, Bordeaux is an exclusive restaurant for everyone staying here. There is also a seaside grill on the secret side. Secret has its own world cafe on the 6th floor, and there's a wine cellar that, so Bordeaux kind of has like a second story to it, and that's where the wine cellar is located here. The beach area is kind of, you have to work your way down a few steps. So if you're coming down from the pool, there's a little slope, and this is like one of the first areas that has valley beds, and there's another slope area that has some more lounge chairs, so on and so forth, until you get to the beach area. So it is called Surf and Spa Resort. This is more or less what I saw the way, so they weren't too crazy, but you will see some surfers out here in the morning. I know when my colleague Matt Brightman was here, it was more for a fan versus a meeting, so he did go into the water, he did do surf lessons, and his recommendation was maybe bring some water shoes because there are some rocks along the beach. So again, just a really great view of the property. Just to point out, this left-hand side, so if you kind of go all the way here to the bottom corner, this hot tub and this pool, the secret side,
Nice.
This is the secret side as well. And then you'll notice some of the shrubbery, which is dividing the secret side from the dream side. So this side over here is the dreams, which we'll talk about momentarily. Again, gorgeous view at night. This is from the moon deck looking out. And again, we did do a live site inspection of Bahia Mita as part of our series Back to the Beach and Beyond in March. And they did go to the moon deck, which is where they have it. There's a very special category on both the dreams and secret side called the sun deck, and you have to be in one of those rooms to have access to this terrace here. But the moon deck is for guests with those secret entries. amazing spot. So like I said, I did not get to see it because I was working, but I hope to be able to go back and really enjoy, the agents at this particular meeting, really treated Susan Spa treatment that they wanted, and everybody had really great feedback. So again, you have your secrets, which is predominantly this side of the resort. The Market Cafe that I mentioned on the 6th floor was like up here. And then on this side of the property is more where the Dreams rooms are. So it's kind of like 2 hotels in one. The Dreams Resort is almost 400 rooms, 8 restaurants, 7 lounges and bars. And then again, it is sharing that space with Secrets, but it's very important to know that if you are a guest at Dream, they do not have access to Secrets. So even though the 2 properties are very intertwined, the Dream guests have to use the facilities that are on the Dream side, which is funny, let me tell you. They have their own seaside grill, they have their own Market Cafe, El Patio is over there, they have Portofino as well. So there's plenty to keep them busy over there. And again, just absolutely beautiful space. We talked about the moon deck, when we talk about the sun deck as well. You know, just really, really gorgeous. I mean, it's just open, so it was a new build from the ground up. There's Portofino that I mentioned. We've got Seaside Grill. They do have the Himitsu there. The Speakeasy was opening when we were there, so I didn't get a chance to sneak down to it. And then again, the same type of thing with sort of that tiered beach area. This is the Splash Park. So the Splash Park is actually right inside, outside of the El Patio restaurants here. And what I learned on our research is that we're going to be doing like a little taco truck. Puerto Vallarta is known for one of my favorite Mexican foods, which is the tacos El Pastor. So that's where they put the meat on the spit. They put the onion and the pineapple at the top. The guy shades the meat and then clips the pineapple and puts cilantro and onion on your taco. My favorite, so my mouth is watering. But they're going to put a taco stand so that they can have some daytime tacos in this area, which is great. The Sky Bar pool. This area is exclusive for those that are both preferred club for Dreams as well as preferred club for Secrets. When I was there, this area was not yet open to public, but it has since opened up. This was a beautiful spot. As part of the meeting, they privatized the area and we did a beautiful morning stretch and yoga. So for those of you who know our wellness guru, David Pritchard, this is where we had our morning yoga. And it was great because there was a bar there. So they set up some avocado toast for us and things like that. So I know a lot of agents have people coming to them for wellness retreats. So definitely keep the Anita in mind. And again, I'm thinking of privatizing this area in the morning. If you want to do like a sunrise yoga, it was really nice. You could see the sun rise on the left while the moon was setting on the right. It was very dramatic to be up here at dawn. So again, that sun terrace is but really just an amazing complex, beautiful, great views everywhere, very good food, very good service. So I know it's a little bit to get there depending on where you live, but I felt it was definitely worth the ride. Also in the Nuevo Vallarta area, we have Dreams Villa Magna. So majority of the property is rooms for us, but some people who've been there know there are a little bit of condos there as well. And this is an award-winning beach. So this is definitely much more common to see people swimming in this beach here. They have really nice room categories. So again, a little bit on the smaller side. It is 4 diamond rated. It's only 30 minutes away from the historic town of Puerto Vallarta. So this is like working your way back toward town. And again, they have some really unique room categories. Gohan is their rooftop sushi bar, which was great. I was there for an event where they had a cooking contest up there, so that was a lot of fun. Beautiful views of the mountains. So just like Cabo is where the desert meets the sea, Puerto Vallarta is also described as where the mountains meet the sea because they're surrounded by the Sierra Madre Mountains. And they do have complimentary bike tours around the Nuevo Vallarta, which is a residential community not that far away. So if you have some active guests, that's a nice place to go. So beautiful room. They do have some swim outs here. There is the categories we saw that kind of had like a sunken hot tub, but believe it or not, I thought that was one of the lead-in rooms, which is really nice. And of course, they have Oceana, they have World Cafe. Here's a closer shot of their beach area, pool, and then their spa, their hydrotherapy area is open air, but it is covered. So it's kind of the best of both worlds, which I like. So sometimes, they have totally open air and the sun can beat down on you. So since I tend to burn, I like to have open air but covered. So this is actually one of my favorite hydrotherapy areas. And of course, family friendly. So we have a core zone and then moving closer to town. So for those guests that come to you that say, I really want non-inclusive, but I also like to wander into town. Once you actually stay closer to Puerto Vallarta, so this area that we're in now, which is where Sunscape Puerto Vallarta is located, this is where I would begin to recommend you have your guests stay if they want to wander into the old town. That's where the Malecon is, that's where the cathedral is, that's where some shops and restaurants are. So this is sort of the gateway to that romantic zone or more like that downtown area that the guests might want to go hang out in. So Sunscape Puerto Vallarta, 340 suites, 6 restaurants, 4 lounges and bars. And again, as I said before, it's very close to the airport, only 10 minutes away, and also very close to the Malecon, which is where you can kind of walk and there's different art and sculptures. It's really a cute a resort. I had to stay there for 2 nights before going to another meeting. So it was one of the first Sunscapes I actually had a chance to stay in. And I really enjoyed my stay. It was just after they built the water park area, which I'll show you momentarily. And again, for those of you who use our resources, this is a really important hotel to make sure you're looking at your room category description. So I know there's good descriptions in that, but when we talk about family suites, here at this hotel, the family suite is like 2 bunk beds on one side of the wall, and then the king bed is on the other side of the wall. So it's one of the few hotels that family suites does not mean 2 connecting rooms. So just please make sure you're keeping an eye on that. But these rooms are really cute. So they have them decorated all differently. And then the little patio that's out in the front, the one has like hopscotch, the other has another game. So Tiki Taco, again, Tacos El Pastor here were excellent. Of course, I had to taste test them. The Tiki Taco was really great. There's a whole big taco menu that your guests can enjoy. And then this outdoor restaurant is really nice as well. So you can just kind of sit here, kind of take in the area, and you can actually see Secrets, Vallarta Bay, and Dream Dreams by Art Bay in the distance from this particular property. So they do have a really nice pool area as well. Sure, yeah, there you go. And then this is the new slush park area. So that's always a lot of fun. The core zone is outdoor but covered, which is great. And then they do have a spa there. So this is the little outdoor area. And then, as I mentioned, you could see Dreams by Art Bay. So Sunscape's the farthest, and then you start getting closer to town with Dreams and Secrets by Art Bay. If you're at the ocean, looking back at the hotels as we are, this building on the left is Dreams by Art Bay, as is this. This is where the preferred club rooms are. The lobby is on the third floor, and you'll see some pictures. This is actually a beautiful area. I was there and saw a couple getting married at sunset. It was gorgeous. And the nice part is because you're on the third floor, if they do opt to use this as a ceremony location, nobody's able to walk behind you. So I'm all about that. I like the locations where you don't have strangers walking behind you in your photos, but you have beautiful water, beautiful sunset in the distance. So the Dreams by Art Bay, this was a conversion. So you guys remember we used to call this Now Amber, but as the Now brand is going away, this is Dreams by Art Bay. So you may remember it as Now Amber, but it is Dreams by Art Bay currently. 327 suites, 7 restaurants, lounges, and bars. Again, wonderful 4-diamond rating in the heart of Puerto Vallarta. And again, it's just 15 minutes from the airport, and you're like 5 minutes away from the beginning of the Malecon. Beautiful Mexican restaurant in Tamarindo. We had a nice little group of lunch there, which was beautiful. They do offer a chef's experience, which is an additional charge, but it is a really nice venue. So I highly recommend if you have the opportunity to do that. And again, it is Pacific Coast, so they have whale watching during the winter, and they do have turtle release programs. So I happen to be on the secret side, and they did mark off. There was a nice little turtle family hatching when we were there. So I got to kind of see them hatch, which is really cool. So this is the preferred club area. As I mentioned, these are the shorter buildings on the side. So these tend to look at the pools and the gardens, and then they have some true ocean front ones for the end of the building. But again, Himitsu, for those who are looking for Asian cuisine, we have our Carnival, which is the buffet. You have Capers, which is Italian. I had the really good, they have really good balsamic. So I remember like the pre-date salad I had there. Coco Cafe for those quick snacks. And then again, they do have movies on the beach here, just like they do at Dreams in Cabo. Nice outdoor open air theater. And then their core zone is inside. They do have the fitness center. And then this side, so if you're in the ocean looking back at the hotel, this taller building is where the regular rooms are for Secrets, and this is the preferred club building over here. 327 suites, 5 restaurants, lounges, and bars. And then again, 4-diamond award winning, and again, we're talking same location, so very, very close. And again, that open air third floor has beautiful views. So this is the lobby terrace, so this is where they would set the chairs up for the ceremony, water surrounding the area, and then in the distance, you just have the sunset and the ocean. So really great location. This is there you go, perfect view. So just that beautiful pink sunset is just, I love Puerto Vallarta for those beautiful pink sunsets. Really nice sized rooms here, nice sized tub. And then of course, this is the wine cellar that I was mentioning before. There's a chef's table, Bordeaux, market cafe. Really, really great. Puerto Vallarta is really great food. So if you have anybody who's foodie, not only do our hotels have great food, but because you're close to the Malecon, you can actually go out and eat into town. And again, just those beautiful, beautiful sunsets. Spa here is great. I have used the spa here, including the hydrotherapy. So I highly recommend if you have an opportunity to sneak away. And then Ixtapa. So Ixtapa is a little bit harder to get to. In conversing with some of my BDMs, I know that the Canadian market used to have a lot of charters pre-COVID to here. So if your guests do go to Ixtapa, which I think you guys know, Zihuatanejo is the closest big town and airport, you will probably see a lot of Canadians. There are some Canadians that have chosen Ixtapa to be kind of their expatriate home. So this is the Sunscape Dorado Pacifico. This is one big pool. So the water slides go in here and then the swim up bars here. So even though it's not really separate adult and kid area, the adults tend to hang out here and the kids tend to hang out here. As far as the beach conditions go here, it is seasonal. So in the wintertime, the water tends to be calmer. And as you get into the warmer months, there tends to be a little bit more current. So just kind of have to keep an eye on things. It's 285 suites, 5 restaurants, lounges, and bars. So it used to be a hotel that operated ago. I think that was in the 1980s, and then just 11 years it's operated as a center. So the few things, not only does it have a lot of fun things for the families to be really close to the pool, it is on the beach, it's not far from golf, it's not too far from Zihuatanejo or Ziwa, as the locals call it, as I found out. It has connecting rooms here, which is great. They have a splash park too, lots of great dining options, and then they have a spa. But one of the nice things too is they actually also have, I guess they're kind of like Puerto Vallarta before Puerto Vallarta got popular. So it's less crowded, and there is a plaza immediately across from the hotel. So if somebody is looking to just like go do something local, they literally just have to walk across the street, and there's a plaza with some restaurants and some local nighttime entertainment. So it's not, there is a Señor Frogs nearby, but most of the entertainment in the downtown area is not real crazy. It's like kind of music playing at the bar type thing. And then also another Pacific Coast destination. I'm probably showing my age, but I remember Acapulco being the stop on the Love Boat when you watch the TV show. But Acapulco is a destination in and of itself that your clients can go and enjoy. It's often referred to as the Golden Coast. And the nice thing about our Dreams Acapulco, so the total property is 605 suites, but in chatting with a member of my team who used to live in Acapulco, I think 400 of these 600 rooms were renovated, and those are normally the ones that are in inventory. So it's really nice to know that. It is really close to Acapulco, the La Isla shopping. There is a little bit more nightlife in Acapulco. And the nice thing about our particular location for Dreams is that unlike a lot of other hotels that are not swimmable, you can see that this is a very cove beach, so it's kind of protected on both sides. So this is probably the most swimmable location for Acapulco. So again, if you have people that are looking for that authentic Mexican feel, the Pacific sunset, and they're looking for a little bit calmer beach, then Dreams Acapulco would be a great option. Now moving on to our last stop on sort of the Pacific coast, we're moving on to Hualtuco. So again, depending upon where you or your clients are trying to get to this gorgeous destination, it can be a little bit challenging. It's normally a connecting flight, but it's definitely worth it. So Hualtuco is truly this authentic Mexican feel. For those of you who are foodies, it is in the sort of province or town of Oaxaca. So if you cook, that's where Oaxaca cheese is from, but very, very traditional. The local town is called La Cruceta, so that's not too far away either. The water here can be a little rougher. So it is important to note, like if they're looking for a swimmable beach, a lot of so they'll put out like the inflatable igloo and stuff for the kids to play with if it's calm, but you may also see people hanging out more in this area where kind of this rock serves as a little bit more protected. But it is a really good, authentic Mexican destination, 605 suites, 7 restaurants and bars. And again, it's our unlimited luxury and it's at Tangalumba Bay. Very beautiful. Again, not as crowded, definitely more authentic, not a far ride from the airport to the Dreams. It's only 25 minutes and beautiful views here as well. And the mezcaleria, so the big trend, I know everybody's into their bourbon these days stateside, but the next big sort of resurgence, so everybody knows tequila when they come to Mexico, that's from the Jalisco state, that's Puerto Vallarta, but mezcal is from this area. So the mezcaleria is kind of how like a sommelier talks to you about wine, the mezcaleria is really where you could experience this mezcal, which is a smoky Mexican liquor. It is part of the agave plant that's native to the Oaxaca region. So agave produces tequila out in Puerto Vallarta, the Jalisco state, and then the agave plant is used to create mezcal here in the Oaxaca state, which is where we have this gorgeous Dream. And then we also have a secret, so that'll be coming up next. I have yet to get to this area, mainly because, as I shared with you, I am coming from the Philadelphia area or Allentown area, so it's a little bit harder to get here. But again, beautiful, beautiful sunsets. I know my one colleague really loves the spa both here and at Secrets as well. So Secrets Hualtuco, again, you're talking about these nice little bays. And again, you could see, I know some of some well-known travel agency partners are here for a meeting. My boss is here right now. And somebody posted this morning, there was definitely a current, especially more along this side. It definitely was calmer on this side of the bay. But as you can see, it is tiered up into the hillside. So you're pretty much guaranteed a really nice view if you stay here. And again, Hualtuco is more authentic. It's only 400 rooms, which is more typical for our sizes. Some traditional accents like the stained glass that you're seeing here. It is again 20 minutes from the airport. It's surrounded by those beautiful rocks. And it really is, again, with the mezcal, this is really, really what you're about when you go to the Hualtuco area. Really nice preferred club room. So you can see with that terrace effect, there's a lot of swim outs here. So if you have somebody looking for a more authentic experience and really want to swim outs are probably easier to come by here than maybe some of our other properties. But absolutely beautiful views. I'm waiting to hear a little bit more about my boss's stay and the stay for the agents who are there. So again, see how this is a little bit more active. This is what it looked like this morning when the agent was posting her video, but you can see it's not as active over here. So for somebody looking for a calmer slice of beach, they would kind of head to the left, but lots of pool areas as well. I saw the team did an amazing job. They actually set up a nice private dinner and cocktail area. And the hydrotherapy area here, again, right up my alley. It's covered, it's open air. You have this beautiful sunset view as you go through your hydrotherapy. So I can't think of anything better than, enjoying your day, coming here at sunset and then just rolling into dinner. Or who knows, maybe just going to bed if I'm not relaxed, because our therapists do an amazing job. And then last but not least, just a quick reminder, of course, there's so many resources for you guys in that and within the actual brand that you're using to book in that. But as a reminder, we do have our AMR resources. The new address for our media site is www.amrmediasite.com. So for those of you who may not have access to AMR agents, have no fear. The AMR media site is where you can find all of your resort product guides, resort imagery. And actually, we have some marketing collateral, but your best bet is to actually use the ALGV 360 resources, because ALGV 360 team pulls from some of the images here on the media site. Also, this is where you're going to find the resort contact. So you kind of have everything that you need in a media site. AMRagents.com, there's a couple more resources in there for you, including the ability to take the Master Agent course, which I know we need to update, so we're going to be working on that. And then the biggest thing I also want to remind you of is the nice thing with ALGV is that their agent rewards, their wave is automatic. But with AMR, we let you double dip, but you actually have to manually go and register your booking. So my recommendation is you make your AMR booking in your favorite brand, whether it's United, Funjet, Southwest, you name it, FLCI, any of those brands that sell AMR collection, make your booking in back, automatically earn your reward points. And then once that booking's under deposit, take a moment to register your booking in AM Reward. So you get double dip. Your AM Reward points will allow you to earn free nights for you. That's up to 2 rooms year round, 6 months in advance. gifts for your guests. So you could give them a romantic dinner on the beach. You can give them a $100 or $200 spa certificate. I know we have some surprise and delight things like you can send milk and cookies to our family friendly property, booking bonuses. So that would be additional funds on a Visa gift card. And then if you do go out and about and do community events, whether they're bridal shows or BNI or Chamber of Commerce events, you can get the small or large banners like our BDMs have, but it'll be your at the top with the AMR imagery. So that is what I have. I know that was a lot. So I don't know. How are you doing, Michael? I'm sure there's a lot of questions.
Absolutely, there's some questions, but I think you did an awesome job covering just about everything, and I'm glad you ended with the AM reward program and the double dipping advice, because currently the Waves rewards program on the ALG side is offering an additional 5,000 wave points on top of the points that you would normally earn on that booking. So I think that equates to like $25 additional that you get on your commission, basically, just by booking through the month of April. So take advantage of that. There's a lot of great opportunities to earn some good wave points this week or this month. Sorry about that. All right. So oh, you stopped sharing your screen, but Constance was wondering if you could go back and show the open air movie slide.
Oh,
Grab a screenshot of that.
well, believe it or not, it's not like we created that just for the presentation. So if she goes into the media site and looks at the Dreams Los Cabos or Dreams Vallarta, under the resort imagery, she should be able to download a JPEG or high def of that. So she's certainly welcome to take the screenshot, but if she's looking for something to use for social media, the best bet is to, it's already pre-formatted in ALGV 360 to go ahead and do that. I'll go back to that.
Yeah, somebody invested a lot of time putting that media site together. There's just so much content there. It just must have taken forever to put that there.
Yeah, yeah. So, and again, that's what I say, use the media site because it is the cleaner imagery. It's in a couple different formats. And again, I know that the ALGV team has done a great job of using some of those images to actually have pre-created content for the guests. But this is the slide of movie night on the beach. So a lot of times they'll do things with the Explorers Club on the beach. Sometimes they'll do family movie night. So they do that, I believe, in both Vallarta as well as in Cabo. Because Cabo has less rain, so normally it goes a little bit.
Gotcha. That looks like a lot.
It's fun, right?
Yeah.
I can watch a movie on the beach.
One of those once in a lifetime opportunities, really.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Constance was asking about fishing activities, and I believe it was the Cabo San Lucas area. You spoke to the fishing tournament there.
Yeah.
I don't believe there are any like fishing.
Well, so the nice thing is if they go to Amstar, so I know in VAX, like the top 10 most popular add-ons are in
Yeah.
VAX. So if you say you have somebody at Breathless and then you book it in, say FunJet or United, and you go under the features, you should be able to add some sightseeing there. So if they're not seeing, there's actually several different options that Amstar sells. So it might be just like one seat on a joint fishing vessel, but I know if it's not loaded in VAX, they can go on to amstardmc.com and actually you can actually do a whole private fishing charter. So you might want to reach out if you don't see it loaded in VAX and you're not able to just grab it. I do know that Amstar has an affiliate site that you can go through Amstar BDM to get that secured for your client. If it's not one of the options preloaded in VAX.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. Not everybody knows that, but we don't load every single Amstar excursion in there. And we've got quick links in VAX. They've got their own Amstar DMC showcase where you can download flyers of available excursions. And often these flyers have more than what is offered within the package and the features. So,
and that's a great point because, I touched on some of the things to do outside the hotel, but Amstar in that little shop that you mentioned, they actually have little destination guides that will talk about the top 10 things to do in each of the destinations that we're covering both today and throughout our other destinations here. So, there's a lot to try to narrow your customers down to, but they try to focus on the most popular ones in their little destination guide in their little shop.
yeah, I can show you where you can find that. So this is like an example of a Los Cabos excursion flyer that you can download. You can also customize it with your own travel agency name, your first and last name.
Yeah, let me get out of sharing the screen because I don't know if I was sharing my screen, so let me stop.
Oh, no, I was sharing mine and I totally forgot. I clicked one button to do it and then I forgot to click the second button to do it.
There you go, there you go.
I only do several webinars a day and I still can't get it figured out.
You know what? There's not enough coffee some days.
Exactly. So let me show you how I got here though. This is the, let's go back to the showcase here. So to get here, you just hover your mouse over suppliers. And then it's interesting, we put them under hotels and resorts. And then they're just listed with the hotels and resorts. So you see here, Amstar DMC, we click on that. And then as you scroll down the page, my back site is a little bit slower moving up here. There's lots of stuff coming up here, but you've got all sorts of flyers, both on airport transportation, signature experiences. What I would recommend here is the excursion, and you just click on find out more. And that's how I got to the list of destinations that provide the Amstar product. Many of these destinations we were talking about today. So I just clicked on Los Cabos. You could click on the other destinations if you're interested. And these are fantastic flyers to share with your clients. I mean, what a great way to expand their, vacation, add, additional commission for yourself and really give them a trip that they'll never forget. So these are great things to share. They can say, oh, I want to do the whale watching as long as it's in the right season. And then you can go ahead and book
There's
that
the
for
sport
them.
fishing. That's what we were talking about. So you can book sport fishing.
Yeah. Yeah, so, and remember, you can always add these after you confirm the reservation, making the deposit, you can always go back to your reservation and modify it to add additional excursions. And in Speedscape, we've got a tutorial on that in our education library as well. So be sure to check that out. All right, what other questions came in? Constance also asked, I still have some brochures from 2019. Are those still good to share or has too much changed?
Oh, God,
Should
no.
Go to the video site?
God, no. Yes, so if you have anything that is old and in print, please take it to your local recycling center. It is so out of date. So the biggest change overall is, as you know, we really don't have the Now brand. So even in this presentation, I talked about Dream Vallarta Bay. In your old 2019 brochure, that shows up as now amber. So absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Please just recycle at whatever your community allows you to do. Using the tools that ALGV has, it's great. I know you guys have your travel log where instead of sending people the whole thing of 50 million hotels and then they come back to you and ask you to price 50 million things, in travel log, you could say, okay, I talked to them only about Breath of Cabo. You could go into travel log, select just Breath of Cabo, and it'll have live things. So Annette's asking about showing those excursions again and back. So do you want to try, so before you do that, let's see if under Secrets Puerto Los Carbos, let's pretend to book a room and see how they could pull up an excursion. Maybe that's a great way to do it too.
Yeah, that's fine. We're already on the availability page. So let's just assume I picked these flights here. I wasn't able to find a nonstop out of Chicago either. I had to stop in LA in order to get to San Los Cabos. But we've got a promo code that's just adding itself automatically. If you click on this promo code here, you'll see you've got savings up to $300. You can always check for promo codes just by hovering your mouse over promos here. And you can just do a filter on your destination, your preferred brand, a keyword like the AMR collection. Any of that is something that you can do just to kind of help refine your search. But often many of our promo codes are just automatically added on as they are here. So you can see with Secrets property here, we can expand the room category by clicking the plus sign.
Which I want you to do because I'm looking for that green box that gets some extra commission.
So generally the first room category shows up as red, and that just means stop. You want to expand that room category section and upgrade them. So then you're looking for the green upgrade bonus, what we call an agent value ID. You can hover your mouse over that. We do that on purpose, so it's a bit discreet. So if you've got a client standing behind your shoulder looking at this while you're booking it, you don't have to hover over, but this is really specifically for our agents. So you can see here, you can gain an additional 2% bonus by upgrading them to the preferred club junior suite oceanfront double. So why don't we go ahead and do that? Oh, and another thing we do is we have AMR with our relationship with them. We have what we call exclusive perks. So you can click on these links and it'll provide a summary of exclusive perks that your clients get just by booking with you because you book with the ALG vacation brands, which is really nice. So you don't even have to tell them it's from us, just tell them it's from you. So that's a really nice option as well. So we're just going to select this upgraded room so we get this.
Which is a lovely room, by the way. It's a great room location.
Yeah, and if you want to see some more pictures, you can just click on the hotel name and it will actually provide you with a scrolling carousel of all of the great room images that you can check out. But down here in the features is where you're going to add some of those excursions. You're going to choose between whether I want travel protection with a cashback option or a travel credit option. We even offer a newer version of travel protection, which is just the during travel protection plan. So it doesn't provide you with all of the free travel benefits, such as cancel for no reason, that sort of thing. And that it's, as a result, much less expensive, but it does provide a little more peace of mind knowing that if you are traveling and God forbid something happens, we have that protection added. So I always recommend at least selecting one of these options here. But on the left side here, you've got a great way to filter these down. We're focused on 15 tours, but another one you don't want to ignore is this additional options one here. So if I select that, the one nice thing about the AMR resort properties is they've got these additional add-ons that really can help make your client's trip very unique. So maybe a girlfriend's getaway or some sort of
I think the Love Unlimited is still bookable. The Love Unlimited is great. So if you have a guest that's going to a secret, but they're not celebrating a honeymoon or anniversary where we would give them some extra goodies, the Love Unlimited package is great because it will give them a 50-minute couples massage for two, plus it'll give them a nice little mimosas in bed. So it's a really great value because just, I think the 50-minute couples massage at most of our spas is like $400. So not only is it a great package where it's a great rate, but it is commissionable to you. So it's one of the things I love is when you book AMR through ALGV, so many things are there for you that's loaded. So you don't have to try to figure out how to book it, how to get your commission, and it's great.
Yeah, so definitely check out some of these add-ons here. So just click on the title of the add-on and you can get more highlights, more information about what the inclusions are there. And as Andy has mentioned, it's just a great value to add to these. So if I want to add on sightseeing and tours, we've got 19 additional options there. We'll just add those on to our other options here as well. And you can scroll down. These Amstar excursion vouchers are really a great option if, let's say, your clients are traveling there for their honeymoon or for a wedding. It's a great wedding gift. You can say, hey, we don't know what we want to do in the destination yet, but if you want to give us a voucher, that'd be great. We can spend that money on whatever we decide to do when we get there. So, and it's commissionable for you as well. So I believe it's 10% commission for those vouchers. And then we've got all these different
So from
options.
Secrets, the one that I would recommend is that Los Cabos Encounter, because I believe that top tour, I believe that's the one that takes them into San Jose del Cabo, if I remember.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you click on highlights, you get an insider's visit of the city of Cabo San Lucas and its surrounding area. So awesome. So you're recommending that. That's good. We've got some good insider information coming from Andy.
Anything's great in Cabo. I love Cabo. It took me 20 years of my travel career to get there, but it was worth every day's wait. I really enjoyed that area, both the area that Freckles is in, as well as the San Jose del Cabo area, which is where Secrets is.
I have never heard someone tell me they had a bad experience in Cabo.
Yeah, it's really nice. I love it because it's very dry. So the mosquitoes love me. So one of the things that was great is I did not get a single mosquito bite when I was in Cabo. So I was very happy. It's a simple thing sometimes.
Let's see, Bridget's asking, I'm kind of hopping all over the place, you guys, with your questions, and I'm sorry. Bridget's asking, if you go sports fishing and catch some fish, is there someone to cook it for you at any of the resort properties?
Well, so the thing is, a lot of the sport fishing is, some of it is catch and release, so it depends, because I know they have to get fishing licenses and things like that. I wouldn't say it would be impossible to have somebody cook it at the property, but I would just check and make sure that it is something that's not a catch and release, like, hey, I caught a fish this big, take a picture of it and you have to put it back. So I know the tournament that was there, it was more just a who caught the biggest fish type thing, and it was something that was very separate. It wasn't like your normal excursion, like they paid to get in there, and it was a set thing where that tournament had somebody preparing the catch of the day for those people. So it's something we could certainly ask a hotel, but off the top of my head, I can't think of something specific.
All right, Andy. Well, this hour just flew right by, and I apologize, you guys. We didn't get to everybody's questions here, but I will provide Andy with a question summary. So if there's anything we need to get back to you on, we'll certainly do that for you. Again, good luck to everybody in our drawing to win a free 3-night stay at Secrets Acapulco Resort and Spa. We will just keep an eye on your inbox. We'll announce our lucky winner via the email. Hey, before we wrap it up, Andy, is there anything that we might not have touched on in the Q&A that you saw, or anything that you want to leave our guests with, remembering after today's webinar?
Well, I guess just my big takeaway. So you guys know I was an agent, and the one thing that always kind of, I don't say upsets me, but like, say you have booked somebody to Mexico before, but they have been to Cancun or Riviera Maya, and then that same guest comes back to you and says, I don't want to go to Mexico. I've been there before. I certainly don't want you to steamroll them and negate that feeling, but I also think now that you've experienced this, you can come with them and say, hey, absolutely, we can take a look at another destination, but did you know that there's a whole other coast to Mexico? Experience. Let me also include that. So, again, a gentle way of reminding people that, just like the US, you can't say I've been to the US when every state is so different. So Mexico is a lot like that. So my big takeaway is thank you for taking the time to learn about what is different about the Pacific Coast of Mexico compared to what you might know and what your clients may be used to booking. But again, just try to keep the Pacific Coast of Mexico in mind where somebody says, I've been to Mexico, but if they haven't been to the Pacific Coast, they really haven't seen all of Mexico.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. It's such a different experience. I don't experience all of Mexico. We only have one life, right?
That's right.
All right. So seize the day, everybody. Thanks so much, everybody, for sharing your time with us. And a big thank you to you, of course, Andy, for this is her second webinar with ALG Vacations this week. So she's really over. A big thank you to you, Andy, and we hope to see you again real soon.
All right, yeah, again, I made it go a little faster only because these are kind of long. So I hope you guys could understand her good enough. I mean, we could have even made it faster, but then it's like an auctioneer. So hopefully that was okay. I know. So just let me know next time. If it's too fast, let me know, but they have different levels. But yay, we finished that one. That was an easy one. Just listen, right? And now you got another certificate. So congratulations, everybody. We got through the fourth one. Now let's move forward. We're going to learn about the Caribbean. Who doesn't love the Caribbean? So it's kind of nice. I don't have to read this one. So let's see how this one is. Beautiful resorts in Mexico, huh? Who wants to go? I do. I'd love to see the turtles, right? That was cool. And then, of course, all those tacos they talked about. Who's hungry,
Sounds
right?
great. Thanks so much, Michael, and thanks again to everybody
right.
for joining us.
So
I
again,
apologize
another hour long.
for some
So
COVID myself from my recent
let me know
travels.
again if
My voice
it's
sounds
too
fly. But I'm going to take a step back
fast,
to
too
happier
slow,
friends. We're
whatever.
going to talk about a lot of resorts that I've personally been to. So I'll give you some tips and tricks along the way. And then we're also going to talk about a few resorts that I have not yet been to. So I know there's a lot of advisors that there's some fan favorites on here. So feel free to chime in the chat and Q&A if there's anything you want us to share at the end of today's broadcast. So without further ado, our first property in South America is the beautiful Dreams Caribana Cartagena Beach and Golf Club Resort. So it was actually almost a year ago that myself and my colleague Andrea Kuban were selected to do a BDM immersion fam to
You
get to
can
know
throw
both
me
the
now
amazing
if you'd
property
like.
and
I'm
the
just
great
going through a
destination that
training,
it's
but
in.
it's a
So depending upon your
hour-long
gateway, there
video.
is some service. I know I took American from Philly connecting through Miami to get to Cartagena. So I know with American, there's a lot of gateways connecting through there. I think Andrea Kuban at the time, she took also Cartagena. So there was only one free question of like, so what helped differentiate the client for who might be interested in South America compared to some of your other Caribbean destinations? And I
Hello, I can't hear anything.
family. And does have a bed space. So I know when Andrea Kuban and I were there, as we were departing, there was a corporate group arriving for their conference.
Can you hear us
So it had
now?
with everything. And also while we were there at the same time.
Yeah, it's
Yep, all
very
good.
low, but I can hear it.
Yeah,
It's
can
very
you turn
low.
it up?
Yeah.
So I'll talk about that a little bit later as well. But really, when you think of why somebody would choose Dreams Caravana, they're looking for the comfort of the brand that they
Sorry
have
about that.
with the security of a gated community, but being accessible to that historical center, as well as experiencing some country club living. This is an amazing Jack Nicklaus golf course. We actually did meet the golf pro and go for a little ride in a golf cart. I'm not a very good golfer, so let me start with saying I did not play golf, but it really, really was great. It has computerized scoring and everything. So I think for those families that, maybe somebody really enjoys golfing, there's also some tennis courts. I know we played paddleball on the tennis course, but there were several courts. And those courts are for both the community. There are some condos in the Caravana complex, as well as resort use. So you do need to reserve court time with the concierge. But really it is country club living adjacent to a beautiful UNESCO heritage site. So this is the aerial view of the resort. If you take a look, these are the different swimming pools. The spa is over in this area. You have those 4 courts that I mentioned. You have the golf course in the distance, and then you have the clubhouse over here. So there is a beach club over here. And this is where you're going to have restaurants, as well as you'll notice there are 2 different areas. One of the areas is more for hotel guests, and one of the areas is kind of designated more for residents of the community. This is an absolutely sunset, gorgeous view of the golf course. So if you were back on the property, this is the area in the distance. That's really where the beach club is. So the golf cart path goes right past there. It's a very short ride from the lobby to that area. I did not walk it. We took the golf course. There is a daily bike activity. I think the bikes go out at 11:30 every morning, and I want to say either 2:30 or 3:30 in the afternoon. But that is something that the entertainment team does as well, where you can ride around different areas of the property. Beautiful lobby, very simple black and white and grayscale. One of the things they're known for is the artwork. So you can see these 2 sculptures here. There's another famous artist that has a sculpture kind of down the hallway past the front desk. But this is a beautiful resort that has lots of artwork from local artists. And they have a great variety of accommodations. If we have time at the end of the actual webinar, I will be more than happy to show you our media site, which is not password protected. This is where you see this room chart coming from. So it gives you the breakdown of the category, how many rooms exist king bedded, how many in this case exist queen bedded. There is a master suite tropical view that has a king bed and sofa bed, so on and so forth. There's also a 2-bedroom presidential suite swim out that has 2 king beds plus 2 sofa beds if you have a really upscale client, and those are on request. So just to give you an idea of what the media site would look like in a resort product guide, that's what you see when you go to that media site. But I found the rooms to be really well lit, as you can see here. There's great lighting in the bathroom. They do have a separate shower and tub, and the louvers do close for privacy. And they do have an accessible room. So again, just a shout out to our media site. We usually do list accessible rooms. So again, remember, these rooms are not fully ADA compliant because we're always out of the first A, which is America. But we do have an accessible room grid that if I have time, I can reference as well. But it does have a roll-in shower in one of the categories here for the junior suite. Junior suite pool view, and again, really nice pool area. So the building kind of makes an L shape, but again, you have the pool and then the golf course in the distance. It is very stunning at night as well. And then this little detail in the room is actually from another piece of artwork that's from another famous artist. So I really enjoyed the room was neutral, but it did have nice pops of color and it did reflect the local artistry. And my room was more like this, where it was overlooking sort of the backside of the property, and then I could see the ocean in the distance. And again, just another view, partial ocean view from the terrace. So even though you're set back a little bit, you still have the opportunity to have some beautiful ocean views. And as I shared before, this happens to be, I don't know if it's the largest preferred club I've ever been in at one of our resorts, but it's really a sizable area for the preferred club lounge. So they have the bar over here and then the snacks and additional beverages over that area. And then as you approach this preferred club, there's also actually some smaller, almost meeting rooms. So I have not yet had an opportunity to do just the Cartagena fam, but like if I had to do training within that fam, I would probably have all the advisors meet in that room to do some training before we did like a site tour or something. So it really, really works well, for whether you have a larger group that's checking in the preferred club or whether you have a lot of people. Again, this is not your traditional beach property. So when I was here, somebody was in here reading a paper or reading the book, kind of to be out of the sun and some of the humidity and just to relax and enjoy. So a few preferred club room examples for you. Again, this was newer construction in 2017, so more modern style of architecture, but actually really great views of the golf course. So a lot of times when you see tropical view, it is more golf course related. This is kind of what my bathroom looked like because I had a preferred club ocean view. And again, there's that local artwork that you see on the privacy slider. And again, those louvers do close. But I found the room to be really spacious. This is one of the more unique rooms. I want to say, I'd have to go back to the accommodations chart. There's only a handful of these, but there are some master suite swim outs, which is like a smaller plunge pool on the balcony. So that's just another view of it here. It is semi-private. There is a staircase coming out that goes to one of the main pools, but it is blocked with some foliage. But you could still have some passerbys here. And that's another view of the master suite swim out on the terrace. So there's plenty of pool space, but if somebody really wanted that extra luxury, again, when we think of master suite, it does provide additional area for them to dine in. So if you were to have an event here, I would say whether it's birthdays or if you have weddings, a master suite is a great place to have the couple or parents of the bride or groom hang out, because if they ever have anybody come to their room, it gives them a place to sit and eat without being in a bedroom. Excuse me. So I like to use the master suites for that. And again, here's another view of that living room area looking back out over the pool. And again, you have that dining area as well. So it is unlimited luxury and room service is included. So it does give people the opportunity to dine in their room if they like, and it has a little extra space for them to spread out. So, and that's a better picture. So it is one of the fishermen that you see there. I love that. And again, the main focus of the property is everything set near the golf course. And then this is the room. So this happens to be a preferred club, presidential swim out ocean view terrace. So this was the room category that what they did for us, it was us and those Brazilian wedding planners I had mentioned. What they did was they hung beautiful florals and some light from these trellises. They moved the furniture out of the way and they set up 2 longer tables. And the chef did an example of what one of the wedding menus would be for us. So we had a beautiful ambiance, and then the chef was there. We had like a surf and turf and a couple different really cool things. But again, when you look at alternatives for special occasions, this is a great suite to offer something like that. So again, obviously there's not a lot of them, but if you had a VIP or you had a special occasion, maybe you do something out here, like you could do a rehearsal dinner or even a small cocktail, just because of how large this area is. And they were smart. They were giving us wine, so they had somebody stand here so none of us fell into the plunge pool. So that was not a problem during our stay. And again, just extra indoor and outdoor living space. And again, a different view of that plunge pool area. So if you have somebody that really is looking for that extra space, that extra area, this is even larger than that master suite that I just showed you. And then pools, again, there's several pools across property. So you've got your main pool, your kids pool area back here. So they had a couple toys and splash things. And then there is the preferred club pool. This is a great area. They set up a special cooking class for us when we were here. So we learned how to make our ritos, but this is the main kitchen. And we did some cocktail making there, which was awesome. So they do have a nice fire pit, which adds some ambiance at night. And then, as I mentioned, with this property, they do have their own beach club. So from the main lobby, this is literally a 2-minute golf cart ride. So you do have a pool here, and there are some fountains, which makes a really relaxing noise. So you can see it does face west. It's a beautiful sunset. There's pilates here. There's a bar over here. The Oceana restaurant is out here as well. But the sand in this particular area and the water here is more of a dark sand, and the water does not come across as very bright blue. So even on a sunny day, if you have those people looking for that really bright blue water, again, remember, Cartagena and Colombia is not going to be the primary focus, is not going to be the beach. They could certainly hang out here, enjoy some drinks, enjoy a relaxing day. Maybe they did a day of sightseeing and their feet are a little tired, so they just want a day to relax. They could hang out by the pool, or they could hang out here. Again, those Rosario Islands is like a full day excursion that somebody would book, and that's where that lighter blue water that you guys are used to is, but that's farther away from mainland. And then they do have a small spa here. I was very lucky. I didn't have enough time to take in the hydrotherapy because I had an afternoon flight, so I did it the morning of my departure, and I still wanted time to pack. But they have those great Pavonia products available for purchase if you like. Really nice relaxation area with some teas and fruits. And then they do have, I think it was called TRX is the brand, but this is a really well-known resistance training brand that a lot of people will actually use. So Kubi did a little joke video there. I don't really know anything about the gym, so I was like, I just did the filming. And then they do have a bike center, so for people who are doing spinning classes, or I know a lot of people will bring their own like Peloton app and then just use the resistance bikes that are available on property. And again, another view of the golf course. They do have an explorers club. It was super, super cute. So one of the things you see here is like a lot of the walls are white. What they do is they actually dip the kid's hand in paint, and they have them leave a handprint with their name and the date that they visited. So it's super cute. So these white walls all have all different color little handprints on them that the team does with them. So they like kind of leave a little bit of themselves behind here in the Explorers Club. And they have done some beautiful weddings and groups. So like I said, when we were there, a lot of people from South America will stay within South America for their destination wedding. So this is an example of one of those destination wedding setups. And they've also done a lot of corporate events. I saw on their Facebook that they just hosted something else. I can't recall the name of the organization. But again, example of the beautiful artwork around property. And of course, they do have a full convention center with breakout rooms that people can use. So I know we're leaving a little bit of South America to kind of go up the coast to Central America. And this is one of the properties I have yet to visit, but I know this is a huge fan favorite. Dreams Las Mareas in Costa Rica. Many of you know from our series, when we did a romance series, we did try to do some live sites over here. They're really popular with families. And again, when we talk about Costa Rica, even though it is a beachfront property, many guests will use this as a base for exploring all of the amazing things that Costa Rica has to offer. So Costa Rica, you'll hear people call it Pura Vida or pure life. It's really that being one with nature, appreciating your surroundings. So if you like creatures and critters and all that kind of stuff, there's lots of wildlife, there's great bird watching. So even the tropical view rooms really make guests happy here. The swim out, of course, is one of the most coveted rooms. This happens to be the presidential, but there's a few other swim outs. They have really good dining. For Costa Rica. I know when I was in Asia, people were like, oh, Costa Rica, but for an all-inclusive property, they have great dining as well as some private venues. And again, just lots of opportunities for the guests to use this as a home base as they maybe explore other areas or use this as a final stop to help them relax before their journey home. I know when I was at Travel Impressions, I had a lot of agents who would start maybe their guests off in San Jose, which is where all the coffee stuff was. Maybe then they would move them to Arenal, and then after all the touring, or maybe they would go up to Monteverde and do zip lining and stuff like that. So people would just be absolutely exhausted. And need a break before they came home. So a lot of times this would be the end of their stay, and then we would fly them home from the Liberia airport. So that airport code, for those of you who may not know it, is L as in Lima, I as in India, R as in Romeo. So LIR is the Liberia airport code. And then again, lots of fun for the kids. Definitely have event space. They are one of the more popular hotels for weddings. So if anyone on here is trying to secure wedding space, please be patient. It is one of the more popular resorts. And then the Secret Papagayo. So same thing. If people are looking for an easy in and easy out from the Liberia airport and they are not traveling with kids, Secret Papagayo is closer to the airport. So for those of you who are really not looking for a long trek, into the wildlife to get to Dreams, if they do not have children, and they're looking for the Costa Rica experience of being closer to the airport, then I would recommend Secret for an adult-only getaway. It is really small, only 202 rooms. And again, just to note, because Costa Rica is so popular with weddings, and even in adult-only weddings, not everybody who attends is a couple.
Miriam, we're on number 5, Caribbean.
I think out of the 202 rooms, there might only be like 7 or 17 of those rooms that will offer double bed.
Thank you.
Just make sure you're having that conversation with your wedding couples. But here's a great example of the plaza area, and people do use this quite often for cocktails. Open air lobby, again, it's all about that Pura Vida, letting nature in. The Preferred Club Junior Suite plunge pool is really popular, and then there is only one of this Preferred Club honeymoon suite. I was actually just at a conference with Mary Jo, and she said hands down, she knows she's not supposed to pick favorites, but this is one of her favorite rooms, is the honeymoon suite. So they're not showing it here, but there is a really beautiful soaking tub that looks out onto the ocean from the patio here. But there's only one of those. So if you have honeymooners that are looking for that special accommodation, if you see that honeymoon suite available, you grab it. And again, lots of amazing food and beverage options for everybody. And again, these are a distance from each other. So I know a popular question I usually get is, can people go back and forth between the resorts? In this case, it's quite far. So even for our Sip, Savor, and Seize program, I really would not recommend it. So if you have adults that want that adult-only experience, just keep them a secret. If they're families, they have to stay at Dreams. And then still continuing on in Central America, we have the Dreams Playa Bonita, Panama. And this resort used to be an intercontinental. So a lot of people look at this and be like, this doesn't look like a usual Dreams. And that's why. So it is relative, I don't want to say super new, but it is newer. I visited it on a Copa Airlines fan. So I know a lot of you, I left out of Dulles Airport in the DC area, but Copa Airlines has flights that usually connect through Panama City. They can continue on to other gateways. But I was here at Dreams Playa Bonita several years ago. Again, it's a little bit on the smaller side, 307 rooms. And the nice part about this, so I had a preferred club room, I was over here, and I loved it because when you look out, you can see the ships waiting to pass through the Panama Canal. So again, when we talk about why somebody's choosing this destination, so there you can actually see them in the distance. You can see all those lights in the distance are all of the ships waiting to go into the Panama Canal. So it's really, I sat there for a couple hours after dinner one night on my balcony just to kind of relax and watch what was going on. So they do have a preferred club pool, but as you can see, again, this is more of a golden sand beach, not super clear water, but again, it's one of those nice options for relaxing, but maybe the guests are doing other things. So this is not that far from the Gamboa Rainforest. So when we were here, we used the Dreams as our base, and we did a day excursion over to the Gamboa Rainforest. We kind of walked up the ramp. You can see the back of where they were expanding the Panama Canal. And we did see some wildlife. I do remember there was a butterfly farm. Spanish word for butterfly is mariposa. Mariposa, in case somebody didn't know. I learned that on that trip. And then we also went into the old town. So again, it's not quite as extensive as some other old towns, but it's a really cute old town that you can go visit. It's about a half an hour away. And main downtown Panama City has a lot of shopping. As you can imagine, it is the hub where all the ships come in and out. So there is a lot of shopping opportunities there. And they really did a nice job when we were there. I don't know if it was part of the nightly entertainment as well. We happened to catch it, but they did a beautiful night of folkloric dancing with us. So we went into the ballroom area and they did like a dancing and dinner show for us there, which was really, really great. And again, when it wasn't Intercontinental, they did not have the play area, but they added the play area along with the Explorers Club when it became a Dreams. And then again, we have been focusing mostly on South America and Central America and focusing on the other opportunities, why people choose those destinations. And the number one reason they pick it is not the beach, but it's for all of those other exploratory options that people have. And I think the same is true for St. Lucia. So as we said, we're talking about our expanding footprint. And Marigot Bay had always been an existing hotel. I cited it many years ago when I was with Travel Impressions. But again, Andrea Kuban and I, we seem to be like the Dora the Explorer for the BDM team. She and I visited Zoetree Marigot Bay for the first time in April. And I have to say it was a real joy to come back to the property and see it as a Zoetree. The chef here is absolutely amazing. So oddly enough, the chef is from Colombia. So I know we started off talking about Dream Caravana Cartagena, but the main executive chef here is Colombian. He really has an amazing sense of style and flavor. So there's lots of unique dining opportunities here. And the thing with St. Lucia, as you know, is again, even though St. Lucia has beaches, it's not the main draw for why people choose to go to St. Lucia. I'm going to show a little video of the overview of the property. So I won't talk during the video if I can avoid it, but I'll point out a couple things for you because this hotel is on a marina. This hotel is not on the beach.
How beautiful the greenery is and everything. Sorry, I'm in Vegas. We don't have green here.
Oh, it is so beautiful there, Marnie. It's one of my favorite places on the planet.
Okay, how nice.
So that is the Zoetree Marigot Bay. And actually, not that I want to necessarily pause the video, but you can see, so I just want to point out, so back here, all of these brown buildings, this is the resort itself. So the main lobby is kind of over here in this area. It is built up onto the hillside. So obviously the best rooms are going to be up here. Although I have to say, my room was probably, I think it was like this building and I was on like only the second floor. So I did have to walk up 47 steps. So just a big note on this property, this is not accessible in any way, shape or form. So even though you could get a ground floor room, there's lots of stairs between all of the different levels. So even, you can walk kind of on the walkway to get from the lobby to these buildings, but there is still a lot of stairs. So you've got a main pool area here. You've got a lower pool area here. One of the more popular restaurants, 1461, is in this area, and that's usually open for breakfast and dinner every day. I think a lot of you follow me on both my personal Facebook, work Facebook, and you guys know I always try to do videos of different things. I'll do those videos from TikTok and I'll share. So I actually did a panoramic view of the upper pool as well as the lower pool. Then as you walk along, for those of you who are below deck fans, I'm a below deck fan, whether it's sailing or below deck yacht, this is Hurricane Harbor or Hurricane Hole. This is where all the yachts go to protect themselves if there's any storms. So it's usually beautiful scenery, including looking at the boats and the yachts. But if you go down a few stairs and you walk along this pier here will take you to what's called the Marina Village. And in the Marina Village, there is another restaurant that's open to both guests and the public. So if you're a guest, it's no treat, even though the menu has pricing, you're not paying anything. The Coco Cafe is down here, so same thing. This is open to everybody, so the menu has pricing, but guests do not pay anything. The spa is over in this area, which we were lucky and were able to have some spa treatment. But the nice part about being on this marina is one of the most popular excursions in St. Lucia is to take a boat so that you could go down to Soufriere. So Soufriere is where the two big pitons are, the Gros Piton and the Petit Piton. Some crazy people hike it. I'm not a hiker, so I did not do that. But in that area, that's where you could do the mud bath, so the sulfur springs and the mud bath. And we really felt like VIPs because our boat for the excursion pulled right up and picked us up. We did our all-day excursion, so we sailed. They had drinks, they had snacks. We did the Soufriere tour, so the history. We did the baths and the mud bath and the hot springs. Then we went to a plantation and had like a traditional lunch. And then we got back on the boat, had time for snorkeling, and then came back. So we were like the VIPs. I mean, when we were leaving, they like dropped us off here at the Marina Village again, and we got applause. I was like, this is great. We didn't have to take anything other than all we had to do was walk down the pier. So again, knowing that St. Lucia is all about exploring, this is a great way for anybody who has to take those boat excursions. They can literally leave right here from the dock. I know one of the other questions is, while the guests are here, do they have a beach to use? And the answer is yes. There is a little pontoon boat. So again, remember, this is the Marina Village. Guests walk down to the Marina Village and a boat takes them across to this boat area here. And if they want to explore like a local restaurant and local hangout, there is a bar over on this side called Doolittle's, and there's a free shuttle. So if you take the little boat here and you go across and you order a drink or food at Doolittle's, your receipt is like basically your free transfer to get back. So you can kind of begin exploring and not wandering very far. But we went over there and we had some rum punches at sunset. But again, like that's that Marina Villa. You're going up this way and you're working your way toward the resort. So this is an overview of that beach area. And then another view of the hotel. So that's the main pool, the lower pool. This is the little dinghy dock area. And of course, St. Lucia has some beautiful nature all around, including the sulfur springs and the waterfalls. So just wanted to kind of give you the video without me talking and then kind of explaining what you're seeing along the way. And I mentioned this on our last session, but many of you, I'm continuing to get emails like, what's the activity schedule? Or do they have a vegetarian menu option? What I would recommend, both you as advisors, as well as you sharing with your clients, is go and download the World of Hyatt Inclusive Collection app. So many of you who traveled with us during COVID know that when you would go to a hotel, they would have a little QR code for you to scan, and you could see the restaurant menus and stuff because they were avoiding giving people like paper menus to avoid people touching stuff. So what they did is that was such a success, they further developed the app, and you can actually see once you download the app, you can pick your resort, and even if you're not a guest, so there's still a lot of functionality, even if you're not a guest. So the example here is Dream Sand, but all of them are set up the same way. General hotel information, the accommodations, restaurants and bars. A lot of times you can even order room service from here. If there was another screenshot lower, you would actually also see the spa specials. You would also see the daily activity schedule. So if it's a family-friendly resort, a lot of times they have both the general activities as well as the Explorers Club, which is the 3 to 12-year-olds that have to be potty trained, or the 13 to 17-year-old, which is the core zone. That's more the free flow kind of come and go. So most Dreams resorts have the Explorers Club. Some of them also have the core zone. But this is a great way to avoid a lot of extra emails between yourselves and your clients, because a lot of them want to know, like, what's the activity schedule? Like, what's there to do? Is there a theme night? What's the show that night? So it'll say, like, is it a fire show? Is it a rock show? Whatever, like they'll mention all of that. So I would highly encourage you to download this app, and then also encourage you to have your clients download with this app. It also goes over dress codes. So if you are not in the habit, my colleagues, when I was an agent, used to make fun of me because I would go very thoroughly over documents. Like I wouldn't just hand people their documents. Like I would make them come to my office and we'd go over it. Or now in today's era, like, you know, you send them the documents and then you make them open them up on a Zoom call because we know nobody reads. But a big thing is making sure gentlemen pack closed-toed shoes, long pants, and collared shirts. They can wear the same one every night, but, you know, just to make sure they have the correct dress code for those indoor air-conditioned restaurants. Like, you know, a lot of times Bordeaux or Portofino will be more formal dress code, you know, island style, but, you know, a lot of times guys forget to pack those pants and closed-toed shoes. And then for our sales team, so a little bit different than your ALGV counterparts with the inclusive collection. Your BDM is based on where you live. So whether it was your old address in AMR agents, or if you hopefully have all gotten into our new Confidant Collective, what we ask is that you put your home address in your profile. So we know with the IATA or Clio or True number, that number tells us where the agency address is, but we want to know where you live because your BDM is based on where you live. So the example I like to give is, you know, there's a lot of host agencies out there. So, you know, TPI Cruise Planners, Dream Vacations, their all home offices are in Florida. But if you live in one of my states, which is Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland, DC, Virginia, or West Virginia, I'm your BDM. Because basically, if I'm gonna have a dinner in Pennsylvania, I want to know that you live close by and I can invite you. So that's kind of why we do it that way. We are currently seeking a replacement for our Southeast BDM, and currently onboarding, he's going to be working with the home offices of the host agencies. We have Scott Radisi, who just recently joined us, but he's still in our onboarding process. So these are your BDMs, and of course, welcome Scott to the team. But again, like I said, he lives in Florida, but he'll be working with a lot of the host agencies at that higher office level. But you guys, based on where you live, is where your BDM is located. The BDMs, like I literally think I was home for all of 4 days in the past month, which is probably why I'm sick, because I haven't been home, so germs galore out and about. Please know that you have our amazing inside team. So depending upon what you need, so like if your client is booked through ALGV and they're having a challenge in destination, you want to make sure you're using your correct resources with ALGV. But for other things, if a BDM is out and about, oftentimes our inside sales team is the best way to get the assistance that you need, especially when it comes to weddings. Chelsea, Kate, and Zwa Kennedy are the 2 live human beings who work the wedding chat on our consumer site. So they cannot confirm weddings, but they're both in contact with the wedding teams all the time. So by emailing sales, sometimes with a wedding concern, they will help get looped in and help you communicate a little bit more clearly with the resort. So just want to make sure you guys knew, in addition to your BDMs, who are unfortunately like me, not home a lot, you do have some additional support. We want to make sure you get the help you need. And these ladies will come to different events with us. Like I think last year, Melissa was at Ascend with us, but normally they are desk-based, so they can often have a faster reply time than your BDM. And then what I was alluding to earlier is, as you know, AMR agents and AM rewards was phased out because we have a brand new advisory resources, and it is the Confidant Collective. So it is confidant.amrcollection.com is the web address, but you should probably be able to scan the code here. I do know it works better on your desktop. Basically, even if you had an old account, everybody needs to register for the new system. And what this will do is, once you get logged in, the system will welcome you by name. We did launch rewards finally on the 14th of June. We have our new education program, which, just a shout out to the ALGV team, we ended up using the same company that they did for ALGV Pro because it was such a good tool. So you can get your new education completed. They just loaded the rewards course, I think yesterday, so I need to take that myself. Niche travel, under this is going to be a lot of the information about wedding, and then offers is a drop down for both consumer as well as advisor offers. And then resources is a link to a lot of things, including the media site, which is not password protected. So www.amrmediasite.com is still where you can find all of your resort contacts, those resort product guides, the connecting room chart, the accessible room grid, all of that's still not password protected. But when you're logged in, there are links to those resources from here. And then the news is all of the communications, articles, and awards, including those notification emails we send out that often get stuck in people's spam folders. And then once you have a login, you can use that information to go to the agent Facebook page. This is a private agent Facebook page for travel advisors, and it's the Inclusive Collection, part of World of Hyatt Travel Advisors. So once you're on that site, you'll have to fill out a questionnaire, including your ID number from Confidant Collective. If you were a member because you already had done this when it was AM Rewards, you're fine. You don't need to go back in. You're a member of the site. But if you're new, you want to use that. And then, of course, the behavior questions, like I promise, I'll behave and be supportive. And then this is where we do post a lot of updates, because we know oftentimes whether that messages end up in spam, or I know how busy you guys are, you're just not seeing messages a lot. We try to do different updates here. And then, as I shared, anytime I'm in destination, I do try to post different videos here. So I was just on a vacation to Waltuco, which I don't think we're doing the Pacific Coast until September, but I do have some videos of Dreams Waltuco that I did make some TikToks of my room and of the beach and different things. So I did post those on the Facebook page, even though I was on vacation. I wanted to share some of that learning with you guys. So I think I left enough time for Q&A. I know Michael and I both have challenges with our voices today. So let me just take a look and see if there is anything that we need to go over.
Yeah, we got a few come in. Well done, as always, Andy. Lots of great detail and information about how you finish it off with the resources available. Anthony had asked about whether or not there's a single source where you can check out the AAA 4 and 5 diamond properties. Do you know if there's a list of all of those?
I don't think they have it listed that way because the AAA rating is not an internal rating. Just off the top of my head, I do know that Secrets Moshe, even though it's just a year old, did win AAA 5 diamond. Secrets Maroma has continued to win AAA 5 diamond many, many years. And then Secrets Akumal finally joined the AAA 5 diamond, I think this past year, and so did Secrets Capcana. So for those 5 diamond hotels, off the top of my head, those are the 5 diamond ones, and we have several. Oh, and Zotri Paraiso de la Bonita, I think they're like 18 years of AAA 5 diamond. So that's an amazing feat. I don't know how they've done it. I know the team there is very passionate about personalized service, so I think that's what keeps them winning that award. But I think they're 17 or 18 years at Zotri Paraiso de la Bonita in Riviera Maya for AAA 5 diamonds. But I'll have to see if that's something that they can work on because that does change annually. But most of our properties are at least AAA 4 diamond or higher, I would say.
All right, fantastic. And someone was asking about upcoming FAMs or travel agent rates that you offer. How do they keep up to date with those?
Well, so there's twofold. So the first thing you have to do is, as I mentioned, you have to go to, maybe let me just stop sharing the screen for a second, and let me go on to the website for a moment. So if you go to confidant.amrcollection.com, if you were previously part of the AMR Agents and AM Rewards program, you probably got an email early in May saying, hey, we have this new site coming up starting May 4th, look for another email so that you can get in. A lot of people didn't get that email on the 4th, but regardless, if you did have that information, you would register with the CLIA IATA or whatever that they verified, all the digits of that number and your email address. If you are new to the industry, you probably have to do the full-blown registration. So if you are part of a known agency, it should let you complete the registration. If you yourself have just recently gotten your own agency, whether it's an IATA, CLIA, or True Number, you probably have to work with our inside team to complete that access. But if you're a part of a known agency, you should be able to log in. And then I'm not going to take up time here, but I've done several webinars about how to navigate the site. And once you're in here, they are recorded and people can view them. So, but that's confidant.amrcollection.com is where you would go. You do have to complete the Confidant Learning, which is replacing the Master Agent course. And then also, for the best discounts, you should also be registering your booking. So instead of AM Rewards, we call it Confidant Rewards. And what you would do is you're going to make your booking with your favorite ALGV brand. Your Waves points are automatic. However, VAX does not talk to Confidant Collective. So you'd actually have to register that booking information. So if you're good about registering your bookings and you've completed your learning course, it's, I believe, up to 35% off. I know there's some hotels, since it's summertime, they're doing 50% off for advisors. But that's usually how you would get an advisor rate. And I do explain that in the webinars.
All right, thanks, Andy. And Anne had a question about Zoetry St. Lucia. Just wondering if there's any gated situation there. Is there just a front gate, or is it gated like all other resorts are? I noticed you could get access from the marina too. So
so there is a security guard who is, there's two actual security points. So there's the security gate or the security agent as you approach the lobby. And then because people can access from that pathway on the marina, there is another security as you come off of the dock from the marina. And I can tell you, they're very vigilant. Every time I walk by, they ask me name, room number. They even started up a little conversation with me just to give me the extra once over. So I have to say, I felt very comfortable there.
all right, great. We had an unrelated question, well, sort of related question, I should say, that came in early about appeasing fears of travel to South America, you know, with the Cartagena property and the Dreams property. What's your recommendation when it comes to appeasing their worries when it comes to security?
Well, I mean, so as I had shared, the Cartagena property has sort of it's a double gated feature. So you have not only the Caravana is a gated community where people actually live, like it's a golf course community where you can build a condo or townhome or villa style home. So there are full-time residents living there. So there is a full-time 24/7 security for anybody trying to get into the complex. And then there is secondary security as you enter into Dream. So you actually have those two things. And then as far as Cartagena goes, if you are in Cartagena and you are going to the walled city itself of Cartagena, like that, visiting the fort or visiting that area, there's also a really pretty artist area called Gethsemane, where people do wall murals and they have like the umbrellas hanging from the streets, like in between two smaller side streets. Very scenic, very Instagrammable. Those areas are main tourist areas that are extremely safe. But obviously, you know, you're not going to be going wandering into like local villages. So, I mean, again, I wasn't totally solo. I was with my colleague, Andrea Kuban, but you know, as female travelers, we felt very, very comfortable. Also, just for added, well, because we also wanted to learn, when we did our city tour, we did do it with a guide because he knew what streets had, you know, this one had the umbrellas, right? And this one had the kites, this one has the local cafe, you know, so it was really nice for him. He took us into one of the local art galleries. He was amazing. So I will tell you something that's a little different. In Colombia, they do not have Amstar. There is another company that acts like an Amstar, and of course, the name escapes me at the moment because I have COVID brain. It begins with a B. I want to say it's Borellis is what it's called. And they're the ones that do the transfer to and from the airport, and they're the ones that set us up with the vehicle and the guide for the day to do the tour of both Cartagena as well as that artist village of Gethsemane. And they're the ones that do the escorted tours out to like the Isla Rosario. So no different than Cancun. Like, you're not just going to start wandering around aimlessly outside of tourist areas. You know, that's why we have Amstar in certain areas, and again, that's why we have Borellis in Cartagena, to make sure that you are always kind of safe.
All right, well, I didn't know Sarah Bareilles did that, but hey, she sings.
Right? I know, that's what hit me. I'm like, I know it's a B, I know it's a B. I couldn't remember the name, but
That's
yeah.
the way to remember the name.
Yeah.
So, thank you for that. Now we're going to jump back over to St. Lucia because we had another question from Christine, wondering how far away Zoetry is from the airport and from the Piton.
It's a hike either way. So I'm not one that likes long, windy car rides. So I did take my Dramamine and close my eyes. It's about an hour from the airport to get to Zoetry. And then when we went to Soufriere, I was very happy that we had that door-to-door boat pickup, so I didn't have to go on any of the windy roads. I'm not like a motion sickness person in general, but like I can't stand it in the car, like when it's not windy. So I would coach your clients accordingly, like, yo, even if you don't usually get car sick, you might want to take some Dramamine, before you get off the plane, get it in your system, and or kind of keep your eyes closed on the ride, which is a shame because it's such a beautiful ride. You drive through a lot of banana plantations and stuff, but it is constantly up and down and left and right to get to anywhere in St. Lucia. So there's no straight roads.
That's what makes it pretty though.
It's gorgeous, it's absolutely gorgeous.
All right, so Michael has a question. He's wondering if the AMR app works at the resorts.
It does. So basically, the Inclusive Collection app, I know usually once you arrive on property, a lot of times it will ask you to put in your last name and room number, because many times, not all the hotels have the tablet in the room, and sometimes you're ordering your room service from your phone. So it's really property dependent.
All right, I'm going to grab the screen share here just for a minute here, because I did get a question earlier about where they would find the recording for today's webinar. So, oh, by the way, guys, since we're on this page, if you go to any of our ALG Vacation brand websites here, in this case, Fun Jet Vacations, there is a Reach for the Beach promo going on now through August 3rd. $200 off any booking in the
As you know, these are
South
older
Pacific with this promo code.
recordings,
So, good
so,
opportunity to combine that with any promos.
but
that,
you never
Inclusive
know what
Collection has
specials
going
there
on.
are, so always
That's
check.
always a great opportunity. So as far as getting to today's webinar recording, under agent tools, and you can find this drop down in all of the brand websites, just click on education. And if you're already registered for the site, it'll take you to the homepage here. Okay, if you're not registered, you'll fill out a form once, and then every time you click that education link, you'll come right here. As you scroll down the page here, we've got the Inclusive Collections curriculum here. And what we're doing is we're adding these updated webinars to this curriculum. So we're always keeping it up to date. So if you've already taken it, you can revisit it as we complete these destination webinars. But to get to today's recording, there's just a banner here that says recorded webinars. Our live webinars are updated weekly over here, but you can also register for live webinars here. So when you click on that banner, it'll take you right to our education calendar. You can see today, we've got today's webinar listed here. When you click on it, this register to attend will turn into a view on demand link, and that's where you can view it. But you can see, you can view the calendar for the rest of July. Anything in solid blue means it just hasn't happened yet. So you can just click on these particular courses or webinars and register at your will. We're always updating with new webinars, so it's important to check back often. But once they turn kind of multicolored here, then you know the on-demand is ready for viewing. So we should have this ready by a little bit later this afternoon. So be sure to check that out. Okay,
We've
we're
done a
all,
couple already too. We did
Oh,
a
yeah.
Europe one, I think we did a Cancun one, so we're rolling. Like I said,
Yeah.
we've got more coming.
we want to keep you engaged with the most up-to-date content. So that's how we're tackling it. And thanks to Andy, she's really put in a lot of work into this. So we appreciate you, Andy, and we hope you stick with us a lot longer because we've got lots of
All right, so there we go. That's the second one. Let's try to get one more done. So again, you got your certificate now. Now we're gonna learn about best brands, best practices for the collection brands and resorts. All right. So who's ready to go on vacation? Beautiful resorts, huh, guys? So again, helps you to sell. Also watch for promotions all the time. Make sure you register, for their rewards program and stuff, because you never know what you can win. All right, let's go ahead and click next.
Hey, welcome everybody. This
Oh my
is Cert
gosh.
with the Apple Leisure Group here with Andy Hilbert from AM Resorts. We are going to talk about some of the best practices in selling AM Resorts today with the AMR Collection brands and resorts. If you've ever wondered which resort is best for this person or that person, Andy's going to tell
As
you
you see, it's
what's
a
up, and she's really good at what she does.
2022.
So I'm excited to present with her. She's one of my absolute favorite people in the whole wide world. And if you have a question for Andy, if you have a question for me, a great place for you to put it today is in the Q&A section. Don't put it in the chat. It is way better to put it in the Q&A because then we are able to get back to you if for some reason we're unable to answer it during the webinar, but we do a pretty darn good job. Also, I just wanted to mention that we are going to be giving away a free stay. This is going to happen after the webinar takes place. There is a stay certificate for an AM resort that we have not yet confirmed, but I guarantee you it's going to be great. As Andy said, from one of the hundreds.
Also, this one's a long one. So again, if you need to drop off or anything, I am recording it. All you have to do, just listen, because as you see, they're not the tests afterwards. But we do want to get through all of them so we can, get our final certificate. So just wanted to share that with you. It is a kind of long one.
Plus hotels that's in the AMR portfolio before we were chatting. It will be awesome. So we're going to announce that via email if you are the winner in the coming days. So look forward to that. Welcome, Patricia from beautiful Colorado. We have a great turnout. So without further ado, I am going to hand it off to Andy. I'm going to put my video on mute and then I'll come back in at the end. So take it away, Andy.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Clint. I think Clint just likes me because I laugh at his jokes, but I love his Vax jokes because, I'm not very good at Vax and he is. So it's all great. So my name's Andy Hilbert. I'm the business development manager for AMR Collection. I live in the Mid-Atlantic. I'm coming to you today from the exciting metropolis of Scranton. I actually have a ALGV Partner of the Month dinner tonight with Jen Palka, the BDM here, and James Reese from Amstar. So we're a great team that travels together and is here to support you back of house as well to help you grow your business. So before we go into really the nitty-gritty of how to help qualify your client and really narrow down the right property for them, it never hurts to go back to basics, because sometimes if you have a misconception about the basic brand standard, it might kind of lead you down a path that you kind of can't recover from when you're sort of getting to know your clients and their expectations. So AMR overall as a brand essence is we want you to celebrate every moment. So your clients are coming to you, they're getting married, they had a baby, they want to renew their vows, somebody wants to propose, or even sometimes it's simple things, just like my partner and I haven't been on a vacation in 5 years and we just need that time to reconnect. So our brand essence is life is a series of moments, and it's what you do with each one that matters. And because we have so many brands, so many places, and so many destinations, we have the perfect place for your clients. So please, when your clients are coming to you, we want AMR Collection and our many brands and resorts and locations to be the first place you think of to help them celebrate every moment. So there's several different brands. I know one of the brands you may have noticed if you've been emailing your BDMs, there's a new brand on the horizon. It's under development, so I'm not going to talk too much about that. But I do want to go over some brand basics, as I mentioned before. Zoetry. This is what I call my elevator pitch slide. So if you were in an elevator, you only have a few floors to talk to somebody about a brand. So if you were in an elevator with the customer, hey, what do you do? I'm a lawyer, I'm a travel agent. Oh, do you know a Zoetry brand? Tell me about that. Well, you could say that Zoetry brand is really for the most discerning traveler, and they are intimate boutique hotels. So these hotels are normally around 100 rooms, and they have the highest level of service for our all-inclusive. So that level of service is endless privileges, which I'll talk about in the next couple of slides as to what that means. Zoetry as a brand, you could go there as a single. You'll often hear the BDM team say Zoetry is the place to go.
May
to
want to take a
disconnect, to
screenshot.
reconnect, even if it's with yourself. So I was joking with
Cheat
before the
sheet.
webinar. I've had a whirlwind time where I was actually visiting some of our properties in Europe. Then I'm coming back to a full week of activities in the field and webinars. So for me, if somebody said, what do you need right now? Andy right now needs a Zoetry. She needs to sit on her lounge chair. She needs to have a drink. She needs to have some really good food. And she needs somebody to not talk to her for a couple days. I need a nice, quiet, decompressing environment. So I don't think that's going to be on the horizon because there's so many events coming up, but this is what Andy could use right now. Secrets Resort. Secrets was our first and probably best known brand. Secrets Resort at its core is all about the romantic moment. As we all know, the one thing market that has really remained strong even through COVID is that wedding and honeymoon market. As I've always said, I was an agent even during 9/11, love never dies. So no matter what's going on in the world, people are always coming together in love. So Secrets is all about romantic moments. It is unlimited luxury level of all inclusiveness. And again, I'll go more into that on the next couple of slides. So at the heart of it, it is couples seeking all adult romance. So when we say couples, it is literally it could be a same-sex couple. It could be, it's not like some of our other competitors where it must be a guy and it must be a girl. It's romantic moments for any couple that's looking to get away. We do also have some rooms that have 2 double beds. So Secrets is really heavily king bedded rooms, but I do know that one of my BDM friends would always go on an annual mother-daughter trip with her mom, and they would pick Secrets and they were able to secure the double bedded room. So you can do a girlfriend getaway there if you're looking for just a quieter environment. So really your most popular guest here, if someone's coming to you saying, I am planning an anniversary trip, I'm planning a honeymoon trip, your first thought should most likely be a Secret. It may not be where you end up, but to kind of start the narrowing down process, that's probably going to be the first brand that you would know, they would know, and would probably start the conversation with you and your guests. However, for those of you who do some corporate groups oftentimes, even if it's a reward trip, do want an adult-only environment. So sometimes corporate groups will even consider a Secret as well. Breathless is our fun social brand. So we say Breathless is all about social moments. And when we talk about Secrets and we talk about Breathless, these are truly adult-only hotels that are 18 and older. They're both unlimited luxury, but the difference between a Secrets and a Breathless is more for people who want to talk to maybe other guests or go with friends, where Secrets, a lot of times the guests are coming either to be with one another or maybe a smaller, more intimate group of friends. So again, it's unlimited luxury. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but this is your social groups, your singles. This is when you have somebody coming to you and says, I have a bachelor, bachelorette. Where should I go? Breathless should be the first brand that you think of. When somebody says, oh my gosh, it's my 30th birthday, it's my 40th birthday, it's my 50th birthday, and I really want to have a great time, Breathless is the first brand you should think of. And I know we're probably not going to go into that, but one of the benefits of booking Breathless with ALGV, your favorite brand in ALGV, Breathless actually has an add-on birthday bash package that you can add into the birthday guy or gal's room. Similar for the bachelor bachelorette party package, that is a per person add-on that you would add per room in features in back. So if we have time and you guys have questions and want to see it, maybe Click can go live and show something like that. Dreams is all about family moments. So families looking to get away and connect. So again, we all know how crazy it is. I know a lot of people, their kids are already starting school. So even just the back to school process, everybody's kind of going in a million different ways. Dreams is that spot for families to kind of reconnect and spend time with each other. It is unlimited luxury level, all inclusiveness. And again, I'll talk about that. And as always from the very beginning, we have said dreams could be for couples and couples with children. And also, if you have anybody that wants a destination wedding and children must attend the ceremony, you need to look at Dreams as one of the first brands with them. So the reason we say couples and couples with children, I think some of you might have been on our like kind of upselling or maximizing your revenue opportunities. We always talk about how great it is to experience Preferred Club. Well, at several of our Dreams resorts, many of them have adults only Preferred Club pools. So the first two that come to my mind in Mexico is Dreams Vista. Everybody, especially people who are active on social media, love that infinity pool that's on the rooftop of Dreams Vista, but that pool is only accessible to adults who are in Preferred Club during the day. At night, that area could be used for private events like weddings and things like that, but that's a prime example of, even though you're at a family hotel, there's still a sort of an oasis for adults to get away. Same thing at Dreams Jade. Dreams Jade has a Preferred Club adult only pool. So, and we'll go live into some of the resources toward the end of this webinar so you can kind of see those features. Vivid is our new adults only brand that's under development. They're just labeling it all inclusive now because they really are working on sort of the level of service that the guests can expect there and what's going to be included. So it's definitely going to be less frills, I would say, than a Breathless or a Secrets, but it's definitely going to be all inclusive. And again, it will be adult only. So couples, friends, a solo traveler could be very happy there as well. Alua, we're not going to speak about too much today. I just came back from inspecting a few of our hotels in both Mallorca, because United has service there, and also Tenerife, because United has service there as well. My take on the Alua properties, most of the Alua properties I saw were the family friendly. So whether they were Alua or Alua Suite properties, Europeans travel very differently from Americans, so they don't always book an all-inclusive. They're off property a lot, doing excursions, and in some islands or areas, they do rent cars. So a lot of times you'll see people just book breakfast or a full board, which is breakfast and dinner, versus a true all-inclusive, because they do spend a lot of time off property. But the Alua and the Alua Suites are for families. And then Alua has a brand called Alua Soul. And in Europe, their adult only Alua Soul brand is 16 and older. But again, most of your meals there are going to be buffet. It's going to be very different from what many of you may know about AMR Collection based on the Mexican and Caribbean markets. And then Sunscape is family friendly, and it's all about fun moments. So even though it's an unlimited fun level of service, so we will have both buffet and a la carte. It is always a really great price point. And one of my favorites, it's no mystery to anybody who knows me. I've done many sales calls with Brenda Londeros, who's the sales manager at Sunscape Acapulco, and I've visited Sunscape Acapulco many times. I love that property. It has a great Rex Dino playland for kids. And then if you're a Sun Club guest, there's a really nice Sun Club sort of lounge area with almost like hydrotherapy plunge pools that are there as well. So unlimited fun, it's more about the family spending time together versus a lot of other maybe features on the property that you would see a little bit more commonly with a Dreams. So I know that was a lot to take in. I'm not watching the Q&A, but I do see some Q&A coming in. So Clint, before I move on from this slide, is there anything urgent that somebody's asked that I should address when it comes to overall brand facing?
Just a lot of real love for this slide. Is there any way somebody can find this slide online, maybe at the AMR media site?
I actually don't. This is really a slide that was created for the BDMs to actually help train you guys as our travel agency partners. So you may actually just want to whip out your cell phone and take a picture of this and kind of save it like, an AMR reel so that you have it. While you're looking at one thing, I just want to
I read mine.
Zone is not adult only. So when you go in the back, if you price out Zone as 2 adults and a 6-year-old, your 6-year-old is going to pay an adult rate. Because of that, a lot of people mistakenly think that Zone is adult only, and it's not. So if you talk to an AMR BDM, we say it's adult oriented. There's no kids club. There's really not a kids menu. So it's really meant for that peaceful relaxation, disconnect to reconnect. It's not to say that you won't see children there. Some of our properties like Zone Agua Punta Cana has a 3-bedroom and 4-bedroom villa on property. So I know, I don't think I'm supposed to say, but years ago, I think Heidi Klum stayed there with her kids. But again, her kids aren't ordering chicken fingers and expecting to be entertained at like an Explorers Club or Core Zone, which is what you would find at a Dreams. So while we're still on this slide, I also just wanted to make sure I address that as well.
Another good question, where will the Vivid hotels be located? Is there any?
It is so early in development, we don't even know. So it's not like internally we've gotten a message saying, hey, an announcement, this is a new brand, this is our first hotel. This is
Scranton, Pennsylvania, right, Andy?
Yeah, no, it's not in Scranton, Pennsylvania, that's for sure. No. So we're all gonna have to stay tuned to see, because it truly is, like you can't even see, it's not really labeled with a level of all-inclusiveness at this point. So we're waiting to see what's going to happen with Vivid. So this is a great point. I know for those of you who do have a profile on AMR Agents, the primary email that you use for your AMR agents, anytime we have a corporate notification that goes out, it goes to the primary email on your AMR agent profile. So for instance, an email came out today announcing Secrets to Loom. So that email comes from, I think it's notifications@explore.amresorts.com or something like that. It's a unique email address, so it sometimes gets caught in spam filters. So just keep an eye out for AMR notification emails, because obviously, as we find out more about it, there'll be notifications on that. And then we may actually, as BDMs, do a brand training specific to Vivid. So that's kind of more of a soon come brand for us. Any other questions pertaining this particular overall?
I think, it's specific resorts in Puerto Vallarta. Somebody was asking, is there any great LGBTQ resorts in that area?
Yes, so we will definitely talk about that. Puerto Vallarta as a whole is very LGBTQ friendly. Many of you may have noticed we launched amrcollection.com/pride. So I think the first destination listed is Curacao, which I just visited in June. But then I think the next best destination is Puerto Vallarta. I actually stayed, I was there for a work event. I stayed at, when it was still now Amber, it has switched to Dreams Vallarta Bay. There's a beautiful same-sex couple wedding. I love Vallarta because the lobbies are on the 3rd floor. So it has a beautiful water feature behind it. So you have no strangers in your pictures. And Vallarta is this beautiful Pacific golden pink, just fabulous sunset. And it was a smaller wedding. So they actually cleared normal seating area for guests, set up chairs, and had the flower arch at the end. And I didn't even know the couple. I was bawling my eyes out watching their wedding at sunset at the Nail Amber at the time, which is Dreams Vallarta Bay. So definitely Vallarta is definitely very LGBTQ friendly. Mexico as a whole does a great job, but also Curacao, which is a newer destination for us, are the first two that come to mind.
I think at this point, Andy, you can just keep moving on and some of the other questions will be answered naturally.
Perfect. That sounds great. All right. So as promised, we're going to talk about each of those levels of all-inclusiveness. So endless privileges, which is really what our Zoetry brand is all about. They have the a la carte dining, in-suite dining, limitless top shelf liquors, 24-hour concierge service. And I know all of us are used to cell phones, but at a Zoetry, you can actually pick up the phone and dial an international number, and it's included for free. So FYI, fun fact. Also, there's a sparkling wine and fresh fruit daily to the room, pool and beach wait service. You can have maid service up to 3 times a day. So it's not meant to be intrusive. But if you're really relaxing on vacation, you're going to wake up, take a shower, maybe go to breakfast. You would want housekeeping then. You kind of hang out, maybe do a little day drinking, maybe you don't. You take a little siesta. You mess up your bed again. So the housekeeper could come in again. And then, of course, you take a shower for dinner, and then you want your nightly turn down service. So again, not meant to be intrusive, but if needed, you could call upon your maid service 3 times a day. Your mini bar can be refreshed up to twice a day. So again, not meant to be intrusive, but that higher level of service. And then what I love, if you plan it right for your guests, if they happen to be doing a split stay, if they end up at a Zoetry, there is complimentary laundry service. So you can come home with mostly clean clothes, which is awesome. And then depending upon the destination, there is a welcome bottle of tequila or rum. And then there's normally some sort of complimentary spa experience. So I know at Zoetry Paraíso de la Bonita, they're the largest thalassotherapy center in North America. So they have a great thalasso experience. I stayed at Zoetry Agua Punta Cana, so it was a 20-minute massage that my concierge was great and added it to the 80-minute massage that I purchased. So I came out drooling. So I highly recommend that. So don't just do the 20, but if you're buying a spa treatment, tack it on. You'll be very relaxed. And then for secrets, dreams, and breathless, those are our unlimited luxury levels of service. So you're still going to have some similarities between the Zoetry and secrets. You're still going to have great access to a la carte dining, top shelf spirits. You're still going to have 24-hour room and concierge service. But here, the minibar is by brand standard only replaced once a day. You'll still have your beach and wait service, and maid service is a maximum of twice. So that making up the room in the morning and then turn down in the evening. Of course, great activities day and night. So the breathlesses, secrets, and dreams are much more active from an activity standpoint than say a Zoetry. So that's why we say Zoetry is that disconnect to reconnect. It's definitely a choir ambiance at a Zoetry. Then you will find with the unlimited luxury of secrets, breathless, and dreams. And of course, there is free Wi-Fi. For those of you who don't teach your clients to use a Wi-Fi messaging app, you may want to do that. I know we as BDMs, when we're in the field or if we're doing a FAM, we like to use WhatsApp. So if you have an Apple user that's talking to an Android phone, you can't use like Apple Chat. So if both users are on WhatsApp, you can use the Wi-Fi to make calls and communicate. So that's just my kind of little insight tip when it comes to Wi-Fi and using it effectively on property. Then we have unlimited fun. So our unlimited fun brand is Sunscape. So again, just little differences. With a Sunscape, you will have 24-hour access to food and beverage. So unlike a Dream, Secrets, or Breathless, or Zoetry, where you're going to have room service delivered to you 24 hours a day, all guests at a Sunscape have 24-hour access to food. In most cases, it's everybody's favorite place, Coco Cafe, that stays open 24 hours a day. With specifically Sunscape, if your client is in Sun Club, they do have room service, but it's only from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. or 10 p.m. So again, reasons to make sure your clients are experiencing club level specific to a Sunscape. It will give them some in-room dining options. The minibar is fully stocked on arrival for all guests, but then it's normally not replenished daily. Sometimes it's every other day or on request. So again, club level, they normally will replenish daily. And then with a Sunscape, you have both your buffet as well as a la carte dining without reservation. They have, of course, bar service, all the unlimited food, drinks, and snacks, lots of activities for the kids, of course. And Explorers Club is common throughout all of them. And then most of the fun clubs have even gotten a core zone. So you guys know Explorers Club is 3 to 12. You'll see those at Sunscape, and you'll also see Explorers Clubs at Dreams. And then core zones, those are for the 13 to 17-year-olds. Most properties will have the core zones now as well. So, and again, I'm going to show you how to find that on our resort product guide at the end, toward the end of this webinar. So Zoetry Wellness Spa and Resorts, when we talk about who goes there, again, it's boutique, they're intimate, they actually will have maybe some more interesting menu items. So I often joke, if you have a picky eater, they may not be a good Zoetry guest. And there's also a lot of focus on cultural and wellness experiences. So again, it's not that loud, come to a nightly show situation. It's definitely more personalized, more relaxed, and more laid back. So for some people, they almost can't handle a Zoetry because they don't know how to turn it off. But Zoetry is an amazing brand that I don't think enough people take advantage of, considering how stressed out everybody has been lately. Again, anniversaries, honeymoon, private weddings, these are very small hotels. So if you have a very upscale client, I do know that Zoetry Paraíso de la Bonita, they have that impression section, which is 9 suites. They have done a full buyout of that section to have a private wedding on their rooftop up there. And of course, they have amazing spots. There are currently 8 Zoetry properties that we have. So we do have the one that I'm very excited for coming in St. Lucia. It's currently the Marigot Bay Hotel. It'll be converting to a Zoetry in December. We have Zoetry Curacao, which I stayed at in June. Zoetry Agua Cana I stayed at. Zoetry Montego Bay is super small, so I've never had the pleasure of staying. I have cited it many times. Zoetry Paraíso de la Bonita is Riviera Maya. I've never stayed, but I've cited. Zoetry Isla Mujeres, again, very small, cited, but never stayed. And then we have Zoetry Los Cabos, which recently came back to the AMR collection. Beautiful, walkable beach, but not swimmable there. And then I just had the opportunity to visit the Zoetry in Spain in Mallorca. So that United Service seasonal into PMI or the Mallorca airport, that would get you over to Zoetry in Spain. Secrets. So again, Secrets Unlimited Luxury. Again, we talked about this is definitely more romantic, great beachfront settings, beautiful rooms. They also have spa. It's not the main focus, but a lot of people take advantage because it's a luxurious retreat for them. And Secrets is definitely going to have a livelier atmosphere at night compared to a Zoetry. So a lot of times when you're qualifying clients, they're not sure which one's right for them. A good conversation to have with them is like, okay, you've hung out all day, you've got a beach everywhere, you've got a pool everywhere. Tell me a little bit how you spend your life. So it's like, oh, we really like going to a nightly show, then that's kind of your cue that a Secrets is probably a better fit for them than say a Zoetry. So that's kind of my little insider tip when you talk about, okay, after dinner, what happened? That's just, kind of where sometimes that's the easiest question to ask to do the split between a Secrets and a Zoetry. If you have a couple that does not want any children at their wedding, then Secrets is great for them. There are no children allowed on property for any reason, not even a wedding. So a truly adult-only wedding experience, anniversaries, engagements, we actually have a pop the question add-on package, romantic escapes, spa getaways, vow renewals. We do have girlfriend getaway options that you can add on there as well with like mani-pedi and some other things. So Secrets has been around the longest. We have a lot of hotels. I'm not going to read every single one of them. And it really is our most popular brand. A few personally that I really need to try to get to is I really need to try to get to Costa Rica. I have not seen Costa Rica as many years as I've been in the industry, and also Waltubo. But I do know that I thought seasonally, some of the ALGB brands do have some seasonal service over to Waltubo. So lots of opportunities. So when we talk about, honeymooners or people just repeat guests of where they want to go, they want a new stamp in their passport, and they're still looking for that Secrets experience with those brand standards. Lots of opportunity to get and retain a repeat Secrets client. Secrets Impression. So this is new for us. You guys know we just opened up our Secrets Moshe. The Secrets Impression Moshe section is a separate hotel code, and it's a higher level of service. So these are smaller hotels, all suites. They're still going to have that amazing service, but if they are adjacent to another hotel, the impression guests are king of the castle. So in the instance of Moshe, you're going to book somebody in Secrets Impression Moshe. They will have their little sort of like hotel within the hotel, their impression hotel experience, and then they also have free flow to Moshe. The regular and preferred club guests of Secrets Moshe cannot go over to Impression. So it really is meant to take it to another level and really be exclusive for those guests. We did do kind of a training. I did a Secrets Impression Isla Mujeres training a few weeks ago with ALGB. And if you just kind of look at it from like statistical standpoint, the guests for Secrets Impression Moshe probably start at 35 years old versus 25 years old. So they have a little bit more income. And like the average household income for an impression guest is probably $250,000 a year versus like $150,000 a year for Secrets, regular Secrets or Secrets preferred club guests. So it really is people kind of already really into living that luxury lifestyle. So that's kind of my take on that. And I do expect to see that brand will continue to grow because that's definitely something we're seeing as a need in the marketplace. So again, adult only wedding anniversary engagement. So it's very similar. It's just for those who kind of have higher expectation. Also, I also feel that the impression guest is going to be investing a lot more once they're on property. So they may really be not batting an eyelash at a upscale bottle of wine or private dining experience where sometimes that's a little bit more of a harder conversation with somebody who's maybe a first-time Secrets guest. So right now, Secrets Playa del Carmen that's the Secrets Impression Moshe, and then Secrets Isla Mujeres, Secrets Impression Isla Mujeres should be opening the end of the year. So keep an eye on that brand. But again, if you have somebody that's been to some of our more upscale preferred clubs and looking to take it to another level, they could be a good impression guest. Or when I was an agent, I used to book my husband's boss, and he's like, I hate all inclusive. He's very cranky. He is that $250,000 or higher. I would take a chance and maybe book him at an impression level Secrets because I think he's somebody who's used to not an all-inclusive property, and his perception is different. So I would consider sending him to a Secrets Impression to kind of see if his opinion of the all-inclusive experience changes because it is an elevated level of service with impression. So that's kind of my note. It's for those people who have done the really nice kind of preferred club. Secrets Maroma preferred club, even Secrets Moshe preferred club, and they're looking for the next level. That's where the impression sort of sub-brand with Secrets comes in.
So Andy, I think we could really knock out tons of questions related to impressions. Would you be okay if we
yeah,
stop for a
sure.
moment?
Let's see what we got because it's new for me too.
Yeah, so Chris Johnson just said, hi, have guests at Secrets Impression Moshe, which has delayed opening and is now scheduled for October 1st. Do you believe this is a firm opening date or not? I know that that's kind of like an up in the air kind of thing to ask.
It is very up in the air. So me personally, the last time I was on property, I was on the regular Secret side for less than 24 hours, the end of April. And I did get to do sort of a hard hat tour of the impression building. And it was definitely coming along nicely at that point. And how many months ago was April? So I have not seen any, and we get the same updates you guys do, like they'll send us an update saying, dear team member, please be aware of this change or update. Then they send it to ALGV, then they say, dear travel agency partner. And most of the time, these emails are hours apart. I have not seen anything yet about a further delay. But again, it's not like we get a weekly update. So I wish I could give you something firm, but I know they've made a lot of progress since my visit in April.
And then how many rooms and suites is the Secrets Impressions?
Secrets Impression Moche, I believe, without looking at my product guide, so this is something you guys can actually look up, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So I believe Secrets Impression Moche is 198 suites or 189, it's something like that. I remember an 8 and a 9. And then the Secrets Impression East Fillmore Harris is, I want to say, like 124. So again, these are going to be smaller properties because to have a really high level of service, the team needs to kind of have the opportunity to create more personalized relationships with the guests.
So Gina is going there on Sunday to just Secrets Moche. Will they allow her to do a site inspection, or is that like awesome?
It honestly depends on what's going on. So if there is, if it's a situation where they have a lot of workers, they might not do a site just because you're going to prevent them from finishing their work on time that day. So anytime you need a site inspection, the process is to send an email to the sales manager at the hotel. So again, when we finish, I can remind everybody on the media site where to see your resort contact. And you can ask them if during your stay, there would be an opportunity to site the Impression building.
Last Moshe question. Are there villas available at Impression?
The way the building is set up, it's not a standalone villa at like Zoetry Agua. So if you guys go to the resort product guide for Zoetry Agua Punta Cana, you actually see standalone buildings that are villas. But if you look at the resort product guide for Secrets Impression Moche, they do call like 2-bedroom villas, or the one suite is like 2,300 square feet. It's like 3 of my houses put together, more of them, like a lot of my houses put together. So again, we can kind of look at that, but just from what's it going to look like, it's not a standalone building. So if your client has a definition of villa being a standalone building or home, it's not that, but we do have some extensive 2-story villa style suites within the Impression building, if that makes sense.
Awesome. And then some love from Renee Edwards. She said she was on the other training that you did and you totally sold her. So really
please,
appreciate you.
I'm going first. I mean, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get in there, and I work for the company. So no, I'm very, very excited. The East Fillmore Harris looks gorgeous. And of course the Impression is, Secrets Moche. I got to tour it, in rough stages, obviously no furniture, but walls were in and electric was being put in and plumbing was getting situated. It's really stunning. And I did get to go into one of those 2-bedroom villas, and it's like, wow, if your clients have the means, they're going to have an amazing vacation.
Very cool.
I don't know if my credit card will go up that high. Let's put it that way. I have an American Express card, but it's not one of those heavy duty black cards. So we'll see what happens. Come on, Powerball.
Yeah, that's right.
So for Breathless, this is really the fun social brand. I'm so happy when we started this brand because, you can do a girlfriend getaway or you can do a friend's getaway to Secrets, but a lot of times people really are coupled off and keeping to themselves. And when I'm not super tired and jet lagged, I do like to talk to people on vacation and get to know people from other countries, other places, other states. So I think at my core, I really do like the Breathless brand because I do love connecting with people. And that's what Breathless allows you to do. So again, it is going to be that adult only, it's a socially sophisticated moment, but really I think it just means there's a high level of food and beverage, like, you're gonna get those smoked cocktails and fun things like that. They do some themed dining, lots of places to mix and mingle. This is where a lot of times you're gonna find even those silent discos. They're gonna do really great entertainment. I remember almost like a Cirque du Soleil, like this is Breathless, Montego Bay. I remember the one night they had almost like a Cirque du Soleil combo rock show night. It was fabulous. And then when that ended, just because it is close to neighbors, even though they have the sound wall, then they rolled into the silent disco. So I thought they did an amazing job with the entertainment. And then of course we have the brand new Breathless Cancun Soul. So again, adult only weddings, the bachelor and bachelorette parties, those are add-ons. You could do a girlfriend getaway here. We have the Breathless Birthday Bash add-on package. It's also great for reunions and other social groups. And I think as a brand, it is the most LGBT friendly. So like, especially when we talk about Breathless Cancun Soul, Breathless Riviera, Breathless in Cabo, just absolutely fabulous, fabulous locations. And everybody goes and has a great time. So I love the Breathless brand. So as I mentioned, Los Cabos, Riviera Maya, Montego Bay. I know there's still some hesitancy on the LGBTQ market for Jamaica as a whole, but as a brand, Breathless is very LGBT friendly. And then our largest Breathless is of course Breathless Punta Cana. And then Dreams Resort and Spa. So I don't know if anybody of you can identify this, but this is our Dreams in the Tour, which has the amazing water slides here. There's a rock climbing wall, and then this lovely thing that looks like a cross between a roller coaster and a zip line. That is the roll glider. So that's Dreams in the Tour. So again, we talk about that, and then back down here is the smaller splash park, leading right into the Explorers Club for the little kids. So when we talk about Dreams, it's really all about family moments to connect. Lots of beachfront settings. I certainly hope we'll be bringing back our Dream Big add-on package because I thought that was great. It gave the family an opportunity to actually have a photo session included on the beach. So I don't think that that's available to add in VAX anymore, but just please make sure you're recommending that your clients really capture those memories. And when they leave that photo out and they have friends that are like, oh, tell me about your trip, that's a great way for you guys to get a referral. Oh, my agent Sandy did such a good job with our family vacation. And again, the Explorers Club for kids 3 to 12 and many of the Dreams resorts also have the core zone. So again, plenty for the kids to do. I know in one of the pre-questions, somebody asked about what's going on with Now Resorts, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But basically, the way I described it, 20 years ago, we just had Dreams Resorts. And Dreams Resorts, when they first started, by definition, only had to have the Explorers Club, which is the 3 to 12-year-old. Fast forward 20 years later, now We had the Now resorts, which those were kind of developed because people were like, hey, wait a minute, all these people are doing multi-generational family reunions at sea. Let's start building hotels that have teen clubs. So we have multi-generational activities. And then the Dreams resorts are like, well, we can start putting in core zones too. So over the course of 20 years, there really was not much difference between what was included in a Now resort and what was included in a Dreams resort. So that's why you saw probably about a year and a half ago, many of the Now properties actually converted over to a Dreams. So I hope that explains it. Because people like before, like, what's the difference between a Dreams and a Now? And a lot of times it was just the core zone, but now with so many new Dreams properties, they have core zones too. So there were more similarities than differences between the two brands. That's why Dreams is sort of more or less like the master family brand for us. So I hope that explains whoever asked that in the pre-question. So family getaways, you can have a honeymoon here if you want. There are spaces for romance, especially if you do like a preferred club room. And then if you have weddings where children need to be a part of the ceremony, you have to take a look at Dreams first. And again, much like Secrets, we had Secrets first, then we had Dreams. We have so many properties for your clients, and we are going to have the new Dreams Flora. So that's why you see that one over here in green. The Dreams Flora will be coming the end of this year, and we're very excited about that too. So again, lots of opportunities to get and grow a repeat client, and also again get those referrals. So really, there literally is a whole world out here. Vivid, as I said, we really don't have a specific property or property location, but it really is going to be an adult only. Again, we're thinking younger, techie, Instagrammy, a little bit more low key than a Breathless. So again, it will be adults only. It will be fine for the social traveler or the solo traveler or couple. So again, I just think it's just going to be a very different level of service than what you'd see at like a Breathless or a Secret. So stay tuned for that. We're all waiting to hear locations and more detailed inclusions on those. And then Sunscape, again, unlimited fun. This happens to be Sunscape Curacao, which I just had the opportunity to visit. I did not stay there. I did do, the sales manager was great in doing a site inspection with me and sort of giving me a day pass to explore the resort. Absolutely love this hotel. If you want those people that are crystal clear blue water, really, really amazing. And again, Curacao as a destination is very LGBTQ friendly. So lots of opportunities. They do have, I don't think it's in this building. And if you guys follow me on Facebook, I did post on my personal and professional. I did a nice walk up too. There's a wedding gazebo near one of these buildings. And then on one of these peninsulas like this, you can actually set up either the dinner or you can actually have the ceremony out here. And it's just stunning because again, the water is your backdrop and it's gorgeous blue water there. And again, family friendly vacation. It's really kind of all about the kids. For those of you who sell Disney, the best example or comparison I can give, Sunscape is like our all-star resort. So I know a lot of people who are selling Disney are looking to expand into the all-inclusive. So the best and easiest comparison is a Sunscape is kind of like our all-star properties. So if that kind of gives you more paints of a picture of, again, it's more spending time with family versus more people kind of, from a service level. And again, great for family getaways. And a lot of times, so Sunscape was our first property in Curacao. So when people were looking for that new stamp on their passport, a lot of people tried out Sunscape Curacao. So, and they are definitely, because of not having the mini bar replaced every single day for every single room and not having the room service for every single room every single day, that's why they actually have a really good price point for somebody trying their first all-inclusive. And as far as our Sunscape properties go, we definitely have several. Puerto Vallarta, Ixtapa, which I haven't gotten to because I'm closer to Allentown, so flights are hard. But I love Sunscape, Akumal, Cozumel, Puerto Plata is again, I know there used to be some EMBS flights out of Pittsburgh, so I'm not sure if those will be back. And then Curacao, so lots of great destinations for your client to explore. And then Now, we currently only have one Now resort in the portfolio. And again, the Now brand originally came about as the first option for multi-generational travel with the core zone. It was a brand standard. If you were going to be a Now resort, you had to have the core zone. So again, that has kind of more rolled into most of our Dreams resorts have core zones, less differences, more similarities. So right now we only have our Now Emerald. But again, the concept behind it was really just us in the all-inclusive tapping into the multi-generational market, which really had been so prevalent in the cruise lines. I used to book a lot of family reunion cruises when I was an agent. So the Now brand was the first one to kind of really emulate that. So I know I've been talking a lot. I need a drink of water. Did any other questions come in?
Some questions, some of them were just singing praises to AM Resort. So exciting to have a Zotri in St. Lucia. That was something that somebody was really pumped about.
Oh, that's a great property.
Yeah, Dreams Nature Resort, what a fun resort for families with kids. I've been there too. I love the picture of that underground cenote looking.
Oh, that spa. I've never gotten to get a spa treatment there, Clint. Like I need to go there on vacation, not for a work event. I want to experience that spa.
I think we have a date, Andy, at the spa.
Yeah.
There we go. There are a few questions that aren't just singing the praises. So even though Secrets is romance, is it good for friends? I think you already answered that, but a girls getaway, adults only place.
So this is where, so kind of like the difference between a Zotri and a Secret. So Zotri is going to be really low key. If the Zotri client, if you think they can't handle no entertainment, then that's where they become a Secret guest. So when we compare Secrets and Breathless, which are the next two that really would kind of, well, I'm not sure what's a good fit for my friends group. This is where you can again say, okay, what are you expecting to happen during the day? Like, are you looking for an upscale DJ? Are you looking for a foam party? At night, do you want a nightclub that stays open until 1 or 2? Now that we're out of COVID, they're starting to have nightclubs. Do you want a neon party? Those sort of theme parties. And again, are you going, it's different if you have 4 couples and maybe they'll do some dinner together, but then they're also gonna kind of separate versus, oh my God, it's somebody's birthday, or oh my God, we haven't seen each other in forever, we're gonna hang out all the time, blah, 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 blah. So you can almost even tell, I don't want to say by the rate of their speech, but if they're talking faster, they're very animated, they're very excited. To me, if I was having a face-to-face consultation with somebody, which if you can, try to do that. Body language talks more than words all the time. So if you can do a Zoom call if they're not close to you or arrange to meet them in person, really kind of read that body language. Most of the time, if it's going to be like a 30th birthday, a 40th birthday, or you have a lot of times sorority sisters or frat brothers or people who haven't seen each other in a while, and it's normally a social setting anyway that they would normally go out and meet, then that's kind of where Breathless kind of takes the lead over, should I be at Secret, should I be at Breathless? As I shared with you, one of my BDM friends, actually you guys may know her, Rochelle, she and her mom, when they would do a mother-daughter getaway, they preferred Secrets because her mom was not going to go out clubbing. Now, if Rochelle went for her friend's birthday, she would go to Breathless because she and her friends, closer to her own age, would be going out more at night. So if her and her mom just really wanted the beach, the pool, some good food, and some spa time, that's kind of the friend or mother-daughter getaway that is probably more appropriate for Secrets. But when you have I took my best friend to Breathless Cabo for her birthday. Like she wanted, the light things to dance around. She wanted to go and go off property in the marina, those sorts of things. So really, again, the question becomes, tell me where you stayed before, but also tell me what you're envisioning for this vacation. So if it's like, oh my God, we want to stay up late, we want to party, we want to do this, that, then that's where Breathless kind of takes the lead over Secret. So that really is your skill level in not rushing your consultation with your client to make sure you're qualifying them correctly and really uncovering their kind of secret hopes and dreams for their vacation.
Another question for Renee. What locations are there that Secrets and Dreams are really close by to each other? Planning a bachelorette party, getaway, wedding with children, and then honeymoon, they want them all to go back to back. Is there locations that have 3 resorts or 2 resorts that are fairly close together?
Well, so if you need, there's only actually 2 sets of properties that have a true full free flow. So Secrets Playa Mujeres and Dreams Playa Mujeres are physically next to each other, and adult guests have full free flow. The other set of properties that are truly next to each other and have true free flow for the adults is Breathless Punta Cana and Dreams on. So those 2 sets of properties have full free flow for the adults, as long as it doesn't happen often. But sometimes a hotel will be under a full buyout, which means that's the only reason that free flow would not happen. But if there's not a large group that has done a full buyout, adults have full free flow. I have run into the situation with, honeymoons and things like that. So when I take a look at, and I'm just throwing something out here. So you have a young couple that they want to do a bachelor party or bachelorette party. I think Cancun and the DR are the easiest because they both have Breathless resorts. So they could do their bachelorette there. And then it doesn't take much with Amstar to do a point-to-point transfer, but then you're really catering to what Secrets is best for the couple. So if they are a Secrets guest that is really into the beach, the best 2 beaches in the Riviera Maya are Secrets Maroma and Secrets Aquamal. Or maybe the bride has always wanted to swim with the turtles, then you pick Secrets Aquamal. And then depending upon when people are coming in for the wedding, if it's a family-friendly wedding, again, you would be working to do a point-to-point transfer back to a Dreams resort. So maybe her guests are staying longer in Dreams Tulum is where she wants to have her wedding. Or maybe the guests are staying for a shorter period of time, they need to be close to the airport. So maybe that's where a Dreams Riviera or Dreams Natura is the better fit. So without talking specifically to that couple about what their desires are, the destinations that have all 3 brands is obviously Mexico and the DR. I mean, you have the same thing in Cabo as well, but everything is going to be normally driving distance. So there's going to be a need for a point-to-point transfer.
Can you repeat the 2 free flow locations again?
So Playa Mujeres. So you have Dreams Playa Mujeres and Secrets Playa Mujeres, full free flow. The other locations with full free flow, Breathless Punta Cana and Dreams Onyx, full free flow for adults. Every other scenario is normally somebody's king of a castle. So looking at the DR, you have Secrets Royal Beach and Dreams Royal Beach. If your guests are at Secrets Royal Beach, they're allowed to go to Dreams, but the adult guests of Dreams Royal Beach cannot go over to Secrets. So for some of our properties, it's a one-way street. Like in Jamaica, Breathless Montego Bay is king of the castle. They can go to either of the Secrets resorts, but only Secrets preferred club guests at St. James and Wild Orchid could go to Breathless Montego Bay because Breathless Montego Bay is like only 150 rooms. So you can't have 1 million people invade a small hotel. And again, this is information that you can read in the resort product guide.
Which
So-
we promise we'll let you get there. in just a
Yeah, I was going to
minute.
say, well, this is, I think we're here because this is next step, how to close the sale with our agent resources. And that literally means looking at the hotel, seeing what they offer and making sure it's the right fit for your guests, but making sure you're looking at the right information to do that.
Yeah, why don't you just go ahead, dive into it?
Yep. All right. So let me get out of this screen and then you can tell me, I might have to reshare. So I have the media sites saved in my Google Chrome favorites. So, but if you want, and are you seeing my screen or no?
I'm still seeing the PowerPoint slide.
Okay.
And so you do a wonderful job explaining things.
Oh, thank you.
I agree.
It's a lot to take in. I mean, trust me, I feel you guys. When I was an agent, we had to sell the whole world, and I decided to work for AMR because I thought it'd be easier because like the martini funnel we have left, and now we keep adding more hotels. So even my job all day long is just sell AMR, and I need to look this up. So it's not a point of shame. We need to look this stuff up, even when we work for the company 24/7. So we're all in it together. So are you seeing my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, so for people who have access to AMR agents, you can log in and actually select the media site resources from here. But I know not everybody has access to AMR agents, and quite honestly, I don't have time to keep entering my password all the time. So what I do is I actually just type in www.amrmediasite.com. I use Google Chrome because it is very heavy on the graphics. And you'll notice in my toolbar, I actually have the media site bookmark. So if somebody asks me a question, I literally open up my computer, click on this, and boom, I'm here in the media site. So before we go into the resort product guide, I want you to make sure you check these first before you reach out to me, before you reach out to our inside sales, before you start asking Google or going on Facebook groups. This is going to be the most up-to-date information. And even before you reach out to a hotel to clarify something, make sure you looked it up. However, if you do need to reach out to a hotel, this block on the left is our resort contacts in the Americas. So that means Latin America, Caribbean. And then we do have our European contacts as well. So I know most of the product you guys are selling and supporting, and know we're learning more, is the Mexico Caribbean product. Because a lot of times people can only go for a few days. They're not looking to fly 8 hours to Europe. So I'm not to say you can't support the European product, but a majority of what you're going to sell is Mexico Caribbean. So if you click on the resort contact, it opens up a new window. So is that new window opening, Clint, or did it pop me out again?
I see it.
Okay, perfect. So, excuse me, say you wanted to, I'm going to pick on Breathless Pablo San Lucas. So if I click on Breathless Pablo San Lucas, and I want to say that I have somebody coming for a birthday and you want to send a reminder message to the hotel, you can go directly into the property. And all you need to do is actually, let me go back to the homepage. My computer is like super possessed today. You can actually go in and email the reservations manager and the concierge. So if you right click on Gabrielle's email, you see it's not her name. So it's like when you email your BDM, oh, what's the person's email? Like this is not something we can memorize for every department at every hotel. So you're better off right clicking, copying the email address here and using it in Outlook or your program. And then for the chief concierge, Alejandra, same thing. And then in your email, I'm a stickler for the subject line. The subject line, please make it as informative as possible. So put arriving 8th of August, fun jet booking, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever it is. Andrea Hilbert, 50th birthday celebration. And then in the body of the email, dear Gabriella and Alejandra, please be aware, Andrea and her husband, Dan, are coming to Breathless Pablo San Lucas from this day to this day. They're in the Exhale Romance Suite. They're going to be celebrating Andrea's 50th birthday. If there's anything special you could do for their celebration, I would appreciate it. If the clients have a specific request, like they would like to do a romantic dinner or something like that, please say, in the subject line, Andrea birthday celebration -- request private romantic dining menu cost and location. Like it's okay to have all of that in the subject line. So I don't want to digress too much on that, but you do have access to all of the resort contacts. And don't send your BDM an email. Who do you know at this hotel? We use the same resort contact list that you guys do. So the area that we use the most, I'm going to scroll down to 2 different areas. So you see all of the different brands here. We'll circle back. That's where the individual brand photography is. And some of them even have some videos. A lot of those photos and videos end up on the consumer website, the amrcollection.com. But the one section that I also want to draw your attention to is promo in a bag. So if you were to price out any AMR collection right now in your favorite brand in VAX, you're going to see the current promotion is Seize Your Sunshine. And I know that there are some TNC and features that pull into VAX for you guys to make it easy so you don't have to look it up. But if you had time on your hands and you wanted to read the full details of the terms and conditions for Seize Your Sunshine, they would be here. Also, ALGV 360 is much better as far as pre-made social marketing and things you can customize. But there is a flyer here that you could print and you could customize. But ALGV 360 is much more nimble. When we talk about those flex and social groups, so flex groups, that's what we call group savings for every season. Again, our terms and conditions are here, but when you get your group code from your favorite ALGV brand, they'll normally have similar terms and conditions. The only difference is any tour operator has to bump up the due date so that they get the hotel the money on time. So like we may say the list is due to the hotel 30 days prior, your ALGV TNC is going to be more maybe 45 days or 60 days because the ALGV team back of house needs to make sure everything is pulled and then sent to the hotel by our deadline. So that's kind of my only note on you might see minor variations, but that's your group savings for every season for the US market. Group savings at Click is for Canada. You don't need that. Beyond Memorable has a lot of terms and conditions for our wedding packages. That's here as well as a few other places. So that's promo in a bag. And I said, I don't use that as much as I actually use our resort product guide. So going back to the main AMR media site. So again, I have it saved in my favorite Google Chrome bookmark bar. I click on it. We're going to scroll to the bottom and we are going to go to travel agent resources. So when you click on resources, this always cracks me up because I get questions on this in my email and I see questions on social media. So the first thing is, who is my BDM? So your BDM with AMR collection is based on where you physically live. So I'm not going to click on this because then I'll have to go all the way back to the beginning. But if you click on this map, it will say who your sales rep is. It will say their email, the states that they're covering, and their phone number. I will tell you, please use email. We're all traveling, so if we're out of office, it will direct you to go to your tour operator. It will direct you to go to the resort or our inside sales team. So I do have a slide, I believe, to show you towards the end, but it's sales, S-A-L-E-S, sales at amresorts.com. There's a team of 5 that help us because we're driving, we're flying, we're not seeing our emails or answering our phones. We have a connecting room chart. A lot of people ask about, I have a family of 5, I have a family of 6, where are they going to fit? Where has connecting room? If I see a family room in back, do I know it's 2 rooms connecting? This chart helps to explain that. So I use this in conjunction with the full room descriptions to make sure I have all my ducks in a row before presenting something to a client. Accessible room grid. We are not ADA compliant because our hotels are not in America, and A stands for America. So this will tell you, does a hotel have an elevator? Is there a certain room category that, maybe you just need to put them on the ground floor? Does something have grab bars, things like that? So the accessible room grid is a good tool for you to use. I always pick on my poor father-in-law. He is not ADA accessible. He's scared to get a knee replacement, so I can't put him somewhere that doesn't have an elevator. So if he were to let me book his vacation, I would definitely be checking this out to make sure whatever hotel I put him at, either A has an elevator or B mentions like that I could put him in a ground floor room. Golf is huge in the marketplace. There's a lot of people who actually do golf groups. So there is a list of complimentary greens fees. And then also within the actual resort product guide, sometimes, like I know in Cabo, there's a third party that manages the 4 golf courses that surround Secrets Puerto Los Cabos. There's even more information in your resort product guide. We do have butler service. So this highlights some of that as well as the product guide. And sip, savor, and seat. So as I shared with you, very few of our hotels have a full free flow. We are starting to see some destinations bring back sip, savor, and seat, which is the clients have to pay for their own transportation to go to another hotel for dinner. There are a lot of destinations where that is still paused due to COVID, but there are a handful of destinations where that is a possibility. So it's dinner only, and the concierge at their home hotel has to see if there's space for them to visit somewhere else for dinner. But again, the clients need to pay for that transportation. I don't have too many people that do that. They're not going a lot of times for a super long period of time, and our hotels have lots of resorts, restaurant choices. So most of the people will just stay put. Then this is, I'm just going to show you fast, the Look of Love. This is a romance e-collection guide that if you were to click on this, it becomes a flip book, a lot like the travel log brochures that you guys have with ALGV, so it'll feel familiar. But this AMR Collection Resort Product Guide, this is literally where everybody, including your BDMs, live and breathe. If we have to look something up or you ask us a question, and we need to check for ourselves. So for example, I'm going to click on View Collection. And what will happen, I work backwards. We are an international company, so the first thing I want to make sure is anything that I see comes up in English. I took French in school and I'm trying to learn Spanish, but please, English is best. So I always make sure I pick English. And then somebody asked about impression and the number of rooms. So I'm going to pick on Secrets. And then in the middle, I can now go down to Secrets Impression. So I'm going to do Secrets Impression Mokshay. I personally would not click download or share this. This is really meant for your eyes as an agent. And you'll see in a moment, these guides can get updated every Monday. So don't waste space on your computer downloading. If you click on the thumbnail, the whole thing will expand. And literally, this gives you the overview of the property. These are hyperlinks. So if you said, I know another common question is, what category do I need to book for my clients to get the complimentary honeymoon or anniversary package or the better one? If you were to click here, it would take you directly to that section. So I don't want to do that because I just want to give you an overview of literally how much information is in here for you. And again, if you look at the bottom, the last time this was updated is July 27th. So again, I look at these live. I do not download them. I do not forward them. If I need to share something with a customer, I will normally use my snipping tool. So I don't know if you can see at the bottom a snipping tool. We'll use an example in a moment, but it always starts off with a property overview. Here it tells you the total room count, which is 198. See, I was pretty good. I said 198 first. And it tells you it's a 10-minute drive from Playa del Carmen, blah, 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 and a lot of this verbiage ends up on the consumer website as well. So it's not like we recreate the real of these. Unique selling points. So a lot of people are like, well, what makes this property different than someone else? A good place to look are these bullet points. So it's going to tell you it's going to have a rooftop bar. It's going to have great infinity swimming pool. It's a 10-minute drive from Fifth Avenue and Playa del Carmen. What it's also going to do is tell you what's included with the property with the endless privileges concept here at Secrets Impression. Their butler service hours, the form of payment that they accept. So when I tell you this is thorough, this gives you average high and low temperatures. It tells you how far it is from the airport, like how long is my transfer going to be. Then it tells you how far it is from the other hotels. Then it's going to remind you of, when we talk about your job is to really create a curated experience for your client. They're not looking at you just point and click and book their trip. They could do that themselves. They want to make sure you're consulting with them for the right property, the right room category. Should I do optional sightseeing in advance? This is a reminder to tell you, if you're staying at this hotel, maybe I should go into features and add the Charette tour or the Shell Hot tour, or maybe they want to go to Cova, or maybe they're really into history and they want to take a full day to go to Chichen Itza. So this is a great reminder to you of, besides the room, the airfare, and the transfers, here's opportunity for you to go ahead and enhance your client's vacation. And then we go into our room chart. So it'll tell you the category, the square footage, the bedding, and how many exist in the hotel and how many people fit in that room. So this really comes into play also with family-friendly properties. You'll know you can only put 2 in a room, 4 in a room. So the presidential beachfront villa and the 2-story suite oceanfront, these are the ones that are not standalone, but you can see the penthouse is 2,200 square feet. The villa, presidential villa, is 6,100 square feet. Like, I can't even imagine. I can't imagine. So again, it goes through everything that you're going to have here and then the descriptions of the room itself. So you can kind of keep going through all of these. It will tell you the names of the restaurants, the hours of operation. A lot of times it will remind you of the dress code as well. And again, I know I'm zipping through this fast, but same thing with bars. The Sip, Savor, and Seat tells you where they could go if that's open. The pools, and then golf, it tells you where they could go for that. Spa and fitness. So again, I know a lot of times the actual menus are on the consumer sites, but this just kind of gives you an idea of what's available to them. Facilities and services, romance. So this is where it's like, okay, what's the complimentary wedding package? They have to book 7 nights in a signature suite or 5 rooms for at least 3 nights. So you better hope it's not the 5th room free, then that won't count as not paid. If not, $9.99. So again, this is very detail oriented. So this is not the pretty pictures of the wedding guide. The pretty pictures of the wedding guide are on the consumer site. But if you just need quick information, this is where we as BDMs go because it loads faster. There's no graphics. And again, it just keeps going and going. So I joke, if you're a child of the 80s, there used to be that spaghetti sauce Prego, and they're like, it's in there. So before you freak out and like, oh my God, I even know check the resort product guide. Chances are it's in there, just like Prego. So make sure you're looking at those and consulting those. And I see we're getting close to one, so I'm trying to talk fast. But literally, spend some time if you have a client looking at a property. Really take time to see what the property is all about here. And again, this is all written, but if you go back to secrets, you can drill down and see photos and videos. And then again, layout of the ballroom, how many people fit, if it's theater style, all that good stuff. And then normally the last page is a property map. So again, the regular secret section is here, and then impression marche is the section that's here. So I know I went a little over time, but
Totally okay, Andy.
I hope that
You were
that really helped everybody.
Yeah, well, hey, guess what? I didn't see a bunch of people drop off. So what you were saying was relevant, and that's why I just kept letting you go because we didn't have another webinar going on. So
Yeah.
thanks for giving us some extra, a little something that was in there.
Little something, something. I always throw a little cherry on top.
Yeah, that was great. Everybody just was really grateful for what you shared today. Thanks for answering so many questions. Is there anything else that you want to leave us with? Anything else that you'd like to say?
Well, just as a reminder, again, I know that most people, yes, the BDM team is here to help you, but again, make sure you're using your online resources first. And then these are the amazing ladies that make up our inside sales team. So sales@amresorts.com, Christine's the manager, Carol Ann, Jaleesa, Tanisha, and Beth. So a lot of times if I'm traveling, I may not respond to your email. I may even just hit forward to them. Please do not take offense if they reply on my behalf because I'm not able to. And again, this is normally the first support for the BDMs when we're traveling or in the field. So please, these are your friends. They're here to help you. And again, you'll get a faster reply. For those of you who do Facebook and have a member number on AMR Agents, you can fill out the questionnaire to join our AMR Collection Amazing Agents Facebook group. So I know I try to be good. I know not everybody knows about the Facebook group yet. So a lot of my content from Europe, I posted on my personal, my professional, and then I actually shared I actually started doing TikTok videos. God help me. So some of those videos are on the Amazing Agent Facebook page as well. So there is a questionnaire you have to answer to gain access. But again, we're looking to develop that as a great way. And of course, rewards. We talk about this with every webinar. You guys are so lucky with ALGV. Your Wave rewards are automatic. However, you do need to take an extra step and register those bookings in AM Rewards. So your wave points are automatic, but my recommendation is if you're doing an FIT or individual booking, once your favorite ALGV brand booking is under deposit, go ahead and register it with AM Rewards. If you're doing a contractor group, you may want to wait until final payment. What will happen is we do technically give you up to 30 days of guest checkout to enter those bookings. So the auto validation system does not begin to run until 30 days guest checkout. Your points should be in your account by that 45-day mark. If not, our team is info, INFO, at amrewards.com. So
That answered the question directly. Yeah.
yeah, because they're the only ones that could go in and work with the hotel to say, okay, oh, this must have gotten stuck in the system. They did check in and check out this day, and then they can manually push the points through for a stay that didn't get. Sometimes it's weird. Like you may say, okay, you go ahead and put my name first in the reservation, but they scanned your passport first and it'll get stalled in the system. So most of the time it's a silly reason like that where a booking will get stalled. But the info at AM Rewards team has the ability to look at that entry, consult with the hotel, and push it through if it's eligible for points. Comp rooms for groups don't earn points. So if you see something from a group that is kind of stalled, you may hear the answer for them. This was the comp room for your group. So that's the only reason that most people don't get points for a room.
Very good, Andy. Thanks so much for joining today. For those of you guys that stayed till the end, awesome. We're definitely going to be including you into that drawing for the certificate of the undefined location throughout AMR's collection. So we hope to see you on another webinar. I have been sending out the link to where this recording will live, but it's going to live on the ALGV education calendar. You can find that inside of the education tab. Any of your ALGV brands will have it. Thanks again, Andy. I hope you have a great rest of your day.
You too. Thank you again, everybody. I really love those who love to learn. Have a great day.
All right. Bye now.
All right. Yay. So we finished 3 today. Little long. Hope you learned a lot. Lots of amazing resorts and stuff. We're over halfway through, guys. So next Saturday, we're going to kick off the Rich Culture Collections in Europe, Riviera Maya, and hopefully get through all of them. So we'll see. But if you guys are doing the Universal Studios with us. We are doing that in a half hour. That's right here, 1 p.m. We're gonna start this one. So it's a long one, so hopefully we'll see you there. Anybody have any questions or anything? You learning a lot?
Yes,
Are
my
you
goodness.
awake?
What time are we doing Universals?
Universal is at 1 Pacific, so in a half hour. So you can take
Okay, so
take a
we're gonna
break.
take a break?
You
Okay,
can take a break. Yeah, I'm gonna go get something to eat and then I'll sign back on at 1. So it's actually what, the 40, almost 40 minutes. So,
okay.
but yeah, we're gonna finish that off because we want to get that done. And then Travelfy, I gotta send, I'm not Travelfy, Trafalgar, I gotta send that out. We gotta register for that. So again, while you're here, guys, go into the featured tab here and pull up Trafalgar. Oh, I can't talk. And register. Okay, so I'll put the link in there. My understanding they have to send you like a sign on or something, so it could take
And
24 hours.
when is that one? Starting next week?
This one we're gonna start on Thursday, so
Oh, okay,
yeah, Thursday, and it's probably the next 2 Thursdays.
okay.
Okay, so I'll go ahead. I know I don't like the way this link comes in, but at least you got it. If not, go into there and then I'll be sending it out on reminders also. All right, so congratulations. You got 3 more certificates today. So print them out, let people know that you're growing and you want to book the Caribbean. They're all inclusive, all the specials that you got for them. And we will see you in a half hour. Otherwise, we'll see you next week for Trafalgar. And we're going to be starting we're going to be doing Margaritaville for the cruise next Friday. So that one's a short one, but it's a fun one. So have a great weekend, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And as we say, if we don't see you at the beaches of the world, we'll see you at the bank, and you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself.
Thanks, Marnie.
You're welcome. We'll talk to you soon. Bye,
Okay,
All
guys.
right,
thanks.
see you in a half.
All right,
Bye-bye.
see you in a half hour. Bye.